a great Tuesday. Some could argue the best Tuesday. You Darvish, it's deja you, as one article writer put it. I don't know which one I was reading, whether it was definitely, you know what? I know who it was. It was definitely Casavell, because we've been trying to get AC to use our puns and our turns of phrases and our nicknames. He refuses to.
You know what, AJ Casavell? Take a lap.
Whoa, deja vu. I mean, all of a sudden, you know what? It dawned on me actually this morning. I was watching the game yesterday, but it didn't dawn on me until this morning. You Darvish, of course, he looks good at Wrigley Field. He was a Cubs pitcher. He's in his old stomping grounds.
It's comfy.
Yeah. It's like it's slipping into an old worn-in pair of slippers you found tucked under the bed.
I forgot those Birkenstocks were molded in my feet.
Yeah, and then you pulled them out, and you're like, oh my God, these are covered in lint. And they were next to a discarded lollipop and maybe a wrapper of some sort, and you're just like, yeah, no, this works. This works. I'm going to toe the rubber right here at Wrigley, and I'm just going to go 5 hitless. I mean,
it's back-to-back starts where it's 5 innings, no runs given up for you, Darvish, and he looks great, and there was no reason to leave him in the game past that. I think he was only at like 83 pitches. But when you think about somebody just coming off the IL and he's coming back and back-to-back starts, he looks this good. Don't push it, right? And it's a really long bottom or top half of the 6th inning when the Padres scored all their runs. Darvish, sit down. You did your job. If the bullpen can't hold a 6-run lead, they don't belong in the major leagues.
Yep, and
right.
It's a win. It's a W. So I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. Let's be a little careful with this rotation right now. Rotation's in flux now with Musgrove. And the offense, boy, that's what you need. When you have a situation like you do with one of your rotational arms out, you need your bats to come alive. And that's exactly what you're support the guy who needs the runs. You Darvish really needs the runs. You're not going to stretch him out to the 7th inning, on a random day in early May, especially, this is his second start off of the IL. So good on him.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good outing for the Padres.
It's too bad that Luis Ariz, he already sucks.
Ariz.
Same thing. Sucks. Forgot his name already.
Really? So what happened?
He went 0 for
4.
4.
Oh, wow.
Loser.
Wait a second. So this guy has literally had like 15 at-bats.
Sucks.
Something like that. And he's hitting 500 with the Padres.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. He went 4 for 4 in his first game, 1 for 5 in his second game.
He went 4 for 6.
4 for 6, sorry.
Right.
1 for 5, 0 for 4.
Yeah.
So what do we got? 6,
Sucks.
5, 4, 11. So 15. So he's 5 for 15.
So
his
he's
batting
hitting-
has been 333.
Dude, keeps doing that. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day.
He's a career 325 hitter. So he's only improved his batting average over his career since he's been a Padre.
Yeah, but let's talk about Donovan Solano.
That dude was a beast yesterday.
Solano?
He's huge. Yeah.
I did have a thought, and it's
Beach, please.
because of Solano, and it's because of Tyler Wade, and it's because of bringing in a rise. This team this year, offensively at least, definitely deeper than last year's team offensively.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say when you subtract Juan Soto from it, but I feel like the guys who are coming off the bench, like Solano was in yesterday because Manny Machado had the day off, Solano hits. And I feel like last year, if one of the big guys wasn't hitting, nobody was hitting. And it feels like, at least through 30 whatever games it's been this year, it's a deeper team this year.
Well, yeah, because the big bats that you're paying to be big bats, they weren't even producing, especially when runners were in scoring position. That was the biggest problem about last year's offense is it seemed like as soon as there was a runner on base, all of a sudden everybody became allergic to getting a hit.
Yeah.
So this year feels different because they're doing a better job manufacturing runs. They're doing a much better job of hitting when runners are on second or third. And so you're seeing the results of that. You're seeing some real crooked numbers on the scorecard, and wins are following the offensive bloom this year, which is great.
Does it feel like the team has made a shift over the past few days? I mean, they went on a slide, they went on a skid. All of a sudden, they're back to 500. But does there feel like there's a little more life there to you?
Well, yeah, and I think it's more about the symbolic nature of making the Arraez trade as opposed to just the bat that you add to the lineup. Like it's what I was saying yesterday. When you bring in a player from the outside who's as talented as Luis Arraez, and all of a sudden he has a game like he had in his first game in Arizona as a Padre, But then what that signals to the rest of the team is, no, we're not interested in 500. We're not interested in the results we currently have. We have our sights set for a World Series championship. That's still an achievable goal. And we're going to add a 2-time batting champ and all-star to this roster because we believe in you guys. We think we have enough in this room plus this piece to go on a significant run here. And they may not be done tinkering yet. Injuries happen. Obviously, Joe Musgrove's on the IL. Elbow inflammation, never fun to hear. And we'll see where that goes. Look, you're a pitcher, you're going to have shoulder and elbow problems. That's part of being a pitcher in major leagues. But if that gets worse, maybe they chase down another trade somewhere later in the season as we get closer to the trade deadline. The work may not be done yet, but as it stands right now, what this signals to the clubhouse is, yeah, we're interested in winning. We're interested in this team winning. And so here, instead of selling off a piece, we're adding a piece. We're going to make a serious charge at this.
They got a couple more with the Cubbies. And then Friday, the Dodgers come to town. All of a sudden, the Padres could be setting themselves up for a pretty decent standing here in the West. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win the thing. I'm not saying that I'm expecting them to come sweep the Dodgers. I'm not saying that. But let's say they take the series and they have a good outing here at the Cubs. All of a sudden, the Padres in a pretty nice position, not only in the standings, not only with their record, but I would say mentally.
Let's go, Padres. So to all this point,
Padres.
Numbers don't lie. Padres are 4th in Major League Baseball with runs per game so far this year, 5.08. Last year, they were around 15th in the majors with like 4.6 something, but over 5 runs a game. I mean, that's pretty good.
A lot better than last season.
Oh, yeah. And their run differential is positive. Last year, it was negative for a good portion of the season. They're plus 14 in run differential. They're 5.5 games back from the Dodgers, by the way, in the NL West. So if they win this series, which they can win this series against the Cubs today in the middle of the 3 games here, and then they have a little bit of forward-leaning momentum, who knows? They could even sweep the Cubs. We'll see. They're going to face a red-hot Dodgers team. I mean, there's no fair dodging when you're, no pun intended, when you're facing LA. This team is always seems to pick up inertia at the right times of the season, and this early portion of the season is no different. They hold right now a 24-13 record overall. They won.
God, how do they do that so easily?
They won 8 of their last 10 games compared to the Padres 5-5. So yeah, it's an important series against the Cubs because this is the series right before you face the geographical and divisional rival here. And after taking a series from the Dodgers last time facing them, there's going to be a little bit of animus here. That the Dodgers are coming to town. And you also know what that means when the Dodgers come to town and the Padres are playing well and the Dodgers are playing well. A lot of Dodgers fans show their faces over at Petco Park. That usually means 2 things. One, it gets loud for the Dodgers at Petco Park, unfortunately, and also a lot of fights in the stands. I'm picturing a lot of brawling on the concourses at Petco Park because people can't seem to help themselves. You're going to see like guys getting knocked out and sent down the slide to Gallagher Square. Yeah. They just opened the brand new play park, and you're going to see adults getting knocked out and sliding down backwards.
They should do like furry night. So everyone's in costume. Wouldn't that be much better?
If you saw a bunch of mascots fighting each other?
Fighting each other in the stands.
It actually would.
Like thousands of them. Listen, Padres, call me if you want more ideas here for sponsorship night.
I think we'd have to drop the bomb if that happened.
If it was furry night?
Yeah.
Are you saying? No, I think where you'd be worried is if it was sold out.
When you say drop the bomb, do you mean nuking San Diego?
No, I think he means dancing. You dropped the bomb on me, baby.
I just mean something would break out at that game that you don't want to break out, and it's not fighting.
Yeah, it'd be an STD.
Yeah, probably gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Anyways,
well,
look, the point is, the Padres, I do think that the Reyes trade was one that we will look back on and we'll say that was a turning point. I mean,
I hope that's the case.
There's no, but here's the thing. If they add a player like him and they can't start winning, they can't get the engine revved up, well, then something went really, really wrong. That there's no question about it. Like it means that, I don't know, we had an injury situation that became more significant, or there was something that really fell apart with this team's roster. I don't really see the big hole yet. Now, the pitching, it's tenuous. We're not sure if you can rely on the rotation as it stands, because there hasn't been a great deal of health yet with this rotation.
And we'll learn a lot today with Randy Vasquez. There was a stat floating around Twitter last night that when Randy Vasquez and Matt Waldron start, the record drops off dramatically. It's like 1-8 versus when the other guys are starting. And so with the Padres, it's how are you going to get depth out of this starting rotation, especially if you've had Darvish already go on an IL stint, Musgrove on an IL stint right now. That's what worries you. And then the bullpen, I think, would worry you too. It feels like you have a really solid end to your bullpen, right? But the middle innings get sketchy. Like yesterday, Yu Darvish goes out in the 5th inning. It was a struggle for them to get through the 9th without giving up more than 3 runs. And it took Suarez having a 5-out save to do it. And like, how often can you really rely on that? Josh Hader, I know people give him a lot of hate in this town because he wouldn't go more than 3 innings. He did it for a reason, because that's how you extend your career and that's how you keep yourself healthy for a long time. If you're asking Suarez to do this more than once or twice a month, things can get sketchy quick.
Yeah, I hate that argument. I understand you're trying to extend your career, but also you're paid to win.
Yeah, but extend your season as part of that too. Like if a closer is going out and throwing more innings than they have to, those arms aren't built up the same way starting pitchers' arms are.
It's just hard for me to imagine you get hired to do a job and then you go, this is the only, as far as I go with this job. And maybe the contract says it, maybe you have it spelled out. But to me, if you're asked to do something by boss man, and that's your job. And I would think as an athlete, you have this inert feeling inside that you want to go out and win. I would think you'd go, no, I'm going to go out here and finish this thing up.
Well, I agree with you from the standpoint of like, yeah, you have a will to win and you have a will to help your team. But at the same token, that's not what he's paid to do. You know, in baseball, they have specialized the pitching position so greatly that there is literally a position in the bullpen called the setup man. There's somebody else who does that job. And don't get me wrong, there will be instances. And in this instance, they felt like they needed Suarez to go more than an inning worth of work to get the Padres a win. But yeah, again, you rely on a guy to do that too often, he'll end up on the IL. And that's the truth. That's the facts. When you are throwing, I mean, here's the problem. I don't want to say the problem. Baseball right now is so reliant on pitchers throwing 100% max effort with every single pitch now, that if you don't do that, you're not getting outs. And if you're not getting outs, you're not of much use to your team. And that's what they rely on Suarez to be, is a 100% max effort guy in the 9th inning to be a chainsaw through bats. And that's what he can be. But if you overuse that arm, he will spend time on the IL. We've seen it already in his short career with the Padres.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong there. I totally agree with that. I'm just saying when you're asked to do it, you just go do it.
No, because that's how you get used up. That's how you get abused by management. That's how guys get hurt. I've seen it 1,000 times. Look, you have to draw boundaries at a certain point. I think Hader was smart, because guess what? Hader was, and by the way, this is part of the game too. He was used by the Padres, and then they sent him away, or then he left. Like it's not like, I mean, we're not going to go back and remember the Hader years with San Diego.
Right.
Like we're not going to reminisce one day.
I've probably already forgotten them.
Well, see, that's my point, is like, if it went really well and they won a World Series, maybe the Padres re-sign him. Maybe they still don't. Maybe he's too expensive for them in free agency anyways. But the point being, like, there are going to be moments where you're going to be taxed more than your teammates. But if somebody comes to you and says, hey, you know, we're going to need you to stay late today, you're doing them a favor. That's fine, right? And that's what Suarez did at Wrigley Field last night. But if this starts becoming a habit, well, then all of a sudden you're like, well, whose job am I doing here?
And there's a baseball component to it too, because Suarez is not a deception guy. He is literally fastballs. All he throws is fastballs. And so eventually, you talk about with starting pitchers, how the third time through the lineup, people start to get to him, right? Well, how many innings is too many innings for Suarez, who literally throws one pitch? Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, you know, if you're, I don't know, second in line to be partner at the law firm. I think I was making this example either yesterday or over the weekend for something different. And then all of a sudden they say, yeah, but you know what? All the trash cans are filled. Would you mind emptying those? Like, Okay, that's a weird request. I guess I could do that. But if they keep asking you, it's like, well, am I second in line to be partner or am I the janitor?
Right.
Like, what am I here to do?
Right.
Is he the setup guy or is he the closer? If he's the closer, then he probably shouldn't pitch in the 8th. He should probably save games in the 9th. And you better find somebody who can set him up for wins, because if you don't, well, you're going to wear out Suarez. You're going to need a setup guy anyways. And guess what? Instead of having one good arm at the end of your bullpen, now you need 2.
Well, how about those Friars, huh? 6-3 win over the Cubs yesterday in the series opener. They had a huge 6-run, 6th inning. Bullpen holds the lead. 2 more against the Cubs in Chicago. Randy Vasquez on the mound today. And he's going up against a guy who has like a .6 ERA so far this season. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm probably not going to try. But he's been fantastic so far this season, who the Padres are going up against. Let's see if they can put some runs on the board against an elite pitcher. NBA last night was pretty excellent. Timberwolves making it look easy against the Nuggets. They win 106-80 last night. T-Wolves take a 2-0 series lead, and both of those games have been played in Denver, so the Nuggets lose all home court advantage they could have possibly had in the series. It's going back to Minnesota next. Knicks beat the Pacers 121-117. Drama ensued in the final minutes of this one, guys. There was 57 seconds on the clock. It was 115. There was a kicked ball called against the Pacers. The ball was not kicked. In fact, it was deflected by a hand. It was a straight-up steal that could have really swayed the ending of that game, but the ref screwed it up. It benefits the Knicks. They take a 1-0 series lead. And staying in the NBA, Spurs' first overall draft pick from a year ago, Victor Wembanyama, the unanimous Rookie of the Year, joining 6 others who have done that before, including 2 Spurs, Tim Duncan and someone else that I can't remember.
We'll get back to the NBA in a little bit, but I want to shift gears to the NFL. And by the way, we have Iron Maiden tickets coming up later in the show. Iron Maiden?
That I made? Come on.
Work, dude. Yeah, dude. So Kirk Cousins.
Oh, this is so sad.
Listen to this story. This is, I mean, okay, so this actually relates to what we were just talking about with Josh Hader, with Suarez. When an organization tells you something, right? When they say to you, promises made, whatever it may be, you know, the expectation if you're a player is like, well, they'll honor that promise. You know, when I signed with the Padres, if I'm Josh Hader, they told me I'm going to pitch in the 9th inning because they're going to find somebody to handle the other innings, because the 9th inning's about, it's Hader time, right? Well, if all of a sudden they start asking you to do more than they asked you to do when you signed, and you know you were there, you guys made that promise. It was you who said that. Well, that's the expectation moving forward. Well, for Kirk Cousins, he had a long chat with the Vikings brass before he left in free agency, and part of that conversation was their future plans. He said, you know, I want a commitment from you guys. I want to know that I'm your guy moving forward. They said, well, we can't promise that. We have that 11th overall draft pick. We plan on using either that or a high first rounder on a quarterback. And he goes, well, then I'm going to test free agency and see if there's another team out there who's interested in paying me and not looking to do that. So he signs the 3-year contract for $180 million with the Atlanta Falcons.
Ton of it guaranteed.
Then
yeah, sweet.
The Falcons traded up to 8th overall and took Michael Penix Jr., quarterback out of Washington. So if you're Kirk Cousins and you talk to Atlanta and their brass and you say, yeah, listen, the reason why I don't want to re-sign with Minnesota, because I'm sure this came up in conversation, is because they're looking toward the future. They're looking to draft a quarterback. And I can't make that. I have good years left of me. I can't make that work in my mind. So I'm not going to groom a quarterback. I'm going to be the quarterback. I want to be with a team who's, you know, committed to build around me. And so thank you guys for this. Is great. Yeah. A lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, I'm sure.
Right.
Sign the contract.
We're excited to have you, Kirk.
And then the end of April comes and they draft Michael Penix Jr. I mean, Kirk Cousins, this story only becomes more sad for Kirk.
Yeah. I mean, is there any chance Kirk isn't starting? I mean, there's no way.
No, he's starting.
With that kind of money.
You don't give that kind of money to someone and not at least give him the shot to have the job. And Kirk Cousins, by the way, is a bona fide stud in this league with the numbers to back it up. Now, what comes into question is, how does he look after this torn Achilles? Like, is his mobility down? Is part of his game that he's relied on in the past, his maneuverability in the pocket and his way that he can go out, lean out to the right to make those throws, is that part of his game disappearing? I have the same questions about Aaron Rodgers coming into this season, both of them with the same injury. Like, it's not quite as long of a turnaround for Kirk Cousins as it has been for Aaron Rodgers. How does he look week 1?
Who do you have more confidence in returning well, Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers?
The younger guy, Kirk Cousins. Yeah, and just because age, especially when you're getting to the wrong side of 40, age becomes a real big determining factor, how fast you recover from things. 36 is very different from 39. It just is. I mean, even though it's just 3 years, those are dog years in the NFL, especially as you get older. Look, I was approaching 30 in the NFL toward the end of my career. And I just remember thinking, like, how am I going to exist one more year doing what I'm doing? It just,
you think about guys like Andrew Whitworth, who kept going until he was 40, playing offensive line.
Jackie Slater played 20 years in the NFL. Now, this is years ago with the Rams, but same thing. Like, there are certain guys who are machines. They can do it. Tom Brady at the quarterback position, a less demanding position than offensive tackle. But getting back to Kirk Cousins, I think he'll probably be better off coming back from the Achilles than Rodgers. Here's the problem. He was flat out lied to, it sounds like, by the Atlanta Falcons, because I don't think he would have signed with the Atlanta Falcons if they didn't at least overtly infer that they were building around Cousins, especially if that's the reason why he left Minnesota.
So what does that do to his future there in Atlanta?
Well, we already know.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as his mindset, I guess, to be on this team.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, again, this is kind of part of the reason why we knew Josh Hader wasn't going to take like the hometown deal with the Padres. When a team isn't perfectly honest with you or is requesting more of you than were promised, or what, I mean, your loyalty is dashed. I mean, right up front, he hasn't played a snap for the Falcons. And they go and they draft a quarterback 8th overall. So what it means is, if there's an opportunity to renegotiate, he's going to absolutely stick it to the Falcons.
Right.
Like, say he has 2 back-to-back unbelievable like he wins comeback player of the year this upcoming season off that Achilles, and he's tearing he's melting faces. Like, he is just playing so well. Well, I mean, year 2 of that contract, I'm going to have my agent driving a pretty hard bargain on the Falcons, saying like, yeah, we're going to be in contract negotiations here in 2025.
And he might not even have to be that good if he just gets the Falcons to like a championship game, say. And he's like, well, look, you guys had this whole team set up, all the youth around it.
Playoffs. The Falcons were, I mean, awful last year.
And he like, what's the one difference between this year's team and last year's team? It's Kirko. It's me. Pay me more money.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I would be absolutely livid. Well, you'd be heartbroken, is what you'd be.
Well, I'd be confused.
Wiping your tears with $60 million a year.
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy. Yeah. All his Kohl's cash that he has now.
I would, dude, he's going to be able to buy so many like sensible khakis.
Yeah, like pick up a candle on the way out.
No, I would be pissed. I would be confused and pissed off if I was Kirk Cousins. I would be like, why on earth did you bring me in to do this job? Why did you tell me that you were going to build around me if this is what your intentions were? You should have let me sign somewhere else. By the way, I probably would have signed for less with somebody else because this was the best offer I got. So it's confusing. It's maddening. And like I said, it's not going to do Atlanta any favors, because it's not like Kirk's going to be all that loyal when it comes time to renegotiate this deal if he ends up having an opportunity.
Well, you tell me this, Ornberger. Kirk Cousins, 4,099.5 season-long passing yards. Would you go more than or less than on that?
I would go more than on that.
I think I would too.
They have a lot of offensive weapons in Atlanta.
And Prize Picks has a lot of options for you to get in on the NFL season before it even begins. Right now, you can look through all the different quarterbacks, all the different wide receivers, and pick more or less than on some of their season-long statistical categories. And Prize Picks is already ready to go for football, and I feel like I am too. So get on over to Prize Picks today. Download the app, use promo code DOGS, DOGS, and add a little bark on the end of it. Not really, just DOGS.
DOGS dogs. That's the promo code. You could get your first deposit doubled up to $100. And Prize Picks doesn't mess around. They got you covered. It's not just futures in the NFL. You also have all of these playoff basketball games to enjoy. Like coming up tonight, for example, you got the Cavs playing, you got the Mavs Thunder series going. Last night was a fun one. If you're all over Anthony Edwards, this is going to be what you do this NBA postseason, which goes on seemingly until next Christmas. I believe they will crown a champion sometime in 7 months.
They still got a month left, but last night, this is a perfect reason why I love Prize Picks. I had a baseball entry going on with some Padres, some A's, and a couple other teams, and I had a $5 entry in, and I got 4 out of the 6 right. And so you think, oh, well, you're a loser, right? You didn't win anything. Not true. I got half my money back. And it's because Prize Picks offers these little insurance policies along the way. So on a $5 entry, I still got $3.60 back afterwards because I got enough. I got 4 out of 6 instead of the 6 out of 6. So obviously, if I would have won all of them, it would have been a much bigger payout. But 4 out of 6 is good enough on Prize Picks to at least get some of your money back. Prize Picks, the most fun I've had winning up to 100 times my money this basketball season. Make Prize Picks. That's what makes it the #1 fantasy sports app.
You know what you got to do. You got to download the Prize Picks app right now. You got to go ahead and sign up. You got to go ahead and put your first deposit in. Oh, and at sign up, make sure you use promo code DOGS. That's DOGS. Oh, dogs. If you sign up with dogs, you put in $10 deposit. Yeah, you're playing with $20. $50 turns into 100. 75 turns into 150. $100 turns into $200 to play with. Again, it's Prize Picks. Promo code DOGS, DOGS. Pick more. Pick less. Pick all the time.
It's that easy.
It's that easy.
And today's Taco Tuesday. Look for the discounts.
We got bonus bucks for you to the tune of $1,000. So if you'd like to win $1,000, all you got to do is listen for the keyword. You keep it locked in right here to San Diego Sports 760. Listen for the keyword and then take the keyword over to sportssd.com and enter it. Your next shot at the keyword coming up 9 o'clock.
All right, this update presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Padres 6-3 win over the Cubs yesterday in the series opener. Yu Darvish goes 5 scoreless. Huge 6-run sixth inning for the Padres. Bullpen holds the lead. 2 more against the Cubs in Chicago. Randy Vasquez on the mound today. NBA Timberwolves making it look easy against the Nuggets. They win 106-80 last night. T-Wolves take a 2-0 series lead. Both those games are being played in Denver, by the way. Knicks beat the Pacers 121-117. Drama ensuing in the final minute of that one. Game was tied, and we'll get into that in a second. Staying in the NBA, Spurs first overall draft pick Victor Wembanyama, the unanimous rookie of the year. This update was presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Big Rashidi and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Got those Iron Maiden tickets we're going to be giving away a little bit later today because starting, check the date, tomorrow, Concert Week. Concert Week happening the 8th through the 14th. 1 week only to get $25 tickets to over 5,000 shows. That's up to 75% off on sale. Like I said, starting tomorrow through the 14th to get those $25 concert and comedy tickets to fill your summer with shows. To get your tickets, go to livenation.com/concert week. But if you want to win Iron Maiden tickets, by the way, going to be playing at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater October 4th. Keep it locked here. Don't go anywhere.
Is it bad that I have the Padres on the iPad right now and the NBA on the TV?
Like right now?
No, like during my nights at home.
Oh, you want them switched or what?
Well, not what I was expected to do at this point because my feelings on the NBA, I haven't been shy about it. But this NBA postseason has actually been kind of awesome.
There's been a few decent games. Now, there's been a few games as well, not so decent, which one of those games, well, actually, there's been 2 here now with the Timberwolves. Shocking me.
It's just impressive that the Timberwolves are beating the crap out of them. Like, that's back-to-back games where the T-Wolves have absolutely kicked some Nuggets ass.
Yeah, it is no contest and honestly boring games.
Anthony Edwards is so sick.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I went back and I was trying to remember if it was Anthony Edwards who had this clip, and it was. and I'll find it sometime during the show. I'm sure I probably liked the tweet when I found it, but he was interviewed once and he said, "Hey, if there's anything you could change about the NBA, what would it be?" And this is from 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure this was 2 years ago. Anthony Edwards answered the question like this, and it was thoughtful. I think he took a beat, and then he goes, "What I would change is all these guys resting." He goes, "Change about the NBA is all these guys sitting on the bench." Do you got it? Okay, listen to this. This is the most stunning and mature and ingratiating response to a question I may have ever heard from any professional athlete. When I heard that clip, I said it that day. I was like, Anthony Edwards is my favorite player. Now, I don't think at the time he was the best player in the league. Jean Morant stole our breath, stole our attention with some of the highlight dunks that he was throwing down, the way he was leading the Memphis Grizzlies at the time. And it seemed like he was one of those young upstart, like taking over the whole league talents until he ran into issues because he kept getting into trouble. Well, Anthony Edwards kept his nose clean this whole time. He's helped build the Timberwolves the right way. He's got an opportunity against the defending champs in the NBA, and he's absolutely dominant. And that's from 2 years ago. This guy is in his early 20s, and that's the sort of things he's saying. I mean, sign me up for life. That dude, that's a baller who also thinks right about the sport.
Now, he's drawing Michael Jordan comparisons, which I don't love that. But if you watch their games, it's actually pretty similar because he's driving to the hoop hard on every single play. He's going through contact, finishing at the rim. He's so impressive. And the Timberwolves, the way they've built this up, Karl Anthony Towns had that reputation where it was like superstar during the regular season, can put up ridiculous numbers, gets to the postseason, falls apart. This is a very different Timberwolves team, and the one piece they've added is Anthony Edwards and that culture, that real hard-nosed, hard-working, defensive-minded player who is also a stud on the offensive end. And the defense is what's killing the Nuggets right now. They can't score.
Yeah, but Anthony Edwards is a guy who somehow gets it here. He gets it, and it's something that we have said. I mean, it was almost the exact same words that he spoke there that we have said as fans. So to see a young kid, a young man like this talking that way, you cannot help but root for him. You can't help it.
Yeah. You guys seen the movie he was in with
tell
Adam
me
Sandler?
Fast and the Furious 11.
Hustlers, what was it? It was the basketball movie Adam Sandler was in.
Yeah. That was a decent movie. It was a decent watch.
Uncut Gems?
No, that was Kevin
was
Garnett.
The other one where
Hustlers, I think was the
I
name.
think it was something like that. Yeah.
The coach or the scout. He plays the scout.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Dude, I saw that movie. It was a good movie. It was a good flick. That one tugged at the heartstrings.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards, he played the guy that Adam Sandler was trying to like mentor throughout the whole thing. It was really good, and he did a good job in that movie.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's special. And and look, this goes back to the conversation we were having to start the show. Look, there are certain times you're asked to do things that are outside the parameters of your workday, and everybody does it occasionally, but you feel taken advantage of if you're asked too often, or if they go to that well too often. It's like, well, what am I doing here? What am I being asked to do? Does this really help the team or the unit or whatever you're part of professionally? In this case, what we're talking about is NBA players signing up for 82 game contracts. That's the contract. Like,
right.
You're a basketball player, like taking off 20 nights a year. And I'm sorry to Kawhi Leonard fans here in San Diego who have followed him into his professional career with the Spurs and the Raptors, now with the Clippers, but he is the face of load management in the NBA, and it's disruptive. Now, don't get me wrong. If a guy is really hurt, and I think he was dealing with injuries this season in LA, fine. Listen, take your rest. I'm not asking anybody to risk their long-term health for a game, but Anthony Edwards is young. He's fresh. He's able to play this way. And when you talk to certain people who are a little bit more jaded, they say, well, ask him in 10 years how he feels about that. I hope he still has the same mentality, because I've never heard an NBA star speak that way, and I haven't since. And he plays like that. He shows up every night for this basketball team.
And the crazy thing about it, I don't even blame Kawhi. Like Kawhi has made the money, and he made it because the NBA has systems in place to where he can do what he's done with load management, which I hate. And he's still able to get all those contracts, and he's still able to get all that money because of how special he is when he does play, and the hope that he can do what he did with Toronto with the Clippers. Now, we'll see if it ever happens. I don't know if it ever will, but either way, Kawhi, I'm not blaming the player. I'm blaming the game. Adam Silver has messed this up beyond repair, I feel like, and now it's going to take a guy like Anthony Edwards to step in and be the leader, be the Michael Jordan, like how he was to the league, where he forced everybody to compete every single night. And maybe that happens with Anthony Edwards. I certainly hope it does.
Well, I can certainly blame Kawhi. I can blame all the players for taking advantage of the leverage they have in this situation. Look, the players have too much power, and the power dynamic between the ownership and the players union. This is what happens when there is the pendulum swings too far in one direction. One side will take advantage, and that's exactly what's happening with the players.
Well, yeah, and that's not just the power of the players. It's the setup of the NBA season. It's the setup of the NBA playoffs. I mean, you allowing that many teams to get into the playoffs allows the opportunity for teams to take some time off and still make the postseason.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a number of factors here that cause problems.
He is special, though. If you
awesome.
get a chance to watch this NBA season, if you can pick one game to watch during the postseason, make it a Timberwolves game, because watching Anthony Edwards actually gives me hope about the future of the NBA.
Man, oh man, I mean, putting the Nuggets to shame here.
They can't score.
Well, the biggest problem in my mind is Jamal Murray. Look at what Jamal Murray meant to the Nuggets postseason success a season ago, and look at what he's doing now. I'm talking about, like, dig into the stats. His shooting percentage is way down. His hit rate from three is way down. Outside of the game 2 and game 5 big shots he made late in the game against the Lakers, he's been performing at a career low average in terms of his shooting in the postseason. And you can't have your number 2 player on your roster offensively struggle like that and expect to win. Not as you get deeper in the postseason. This Minnesota Timberwolves team also plays much better defense than the Lakers do. So it's only going to get tougher for Murray if he doesn't shoot his way out of this hole.
And both those games were in Denver.
Speaking of Denver, a little bit of chicanery, a little bit of war games being played in the war room. I love stories like this post-draft. We get a little idea of how Sean Payton and the Broncos hid things from everybody ahead of their draft pick in this year's draft. That's coming up next.
The Denver Broncos, evil geniuses or complete dumpster fire? We break it down next.
Gosh, I love excitement in this room. It gets us ready.
I'm so fired up right
We
now.
are so fired up. We have some special things all week long, including Iron Maiden tickets.
Pew, pew, pew.
So set your watches.
Yeah.
I promise you, I mean no offense by this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's going to be offensive.
What?
Ever since we de-soundproofed this room because the thing broke,
Yeah.
I just found out how annoying you guys are during commercial breaks.
Screw
Wow.
you, Ben. Screw
Wow.
you, Fletch.
Yeah. How are we annoying?
A lot of yelling.
We do
Yeah,
yell.
there was a lot of yelling,
We
yeah.
do, we do yell.
Yeah, there's a lot of screaming.
You,
But sometimes I want like people who are walking by to know, like, we are having a good time in here.
and you're in that fortress of solitude, and you have been your whole career.
Right.
And I kind of if it were up to me, I'd break down all these walls.
You know what? I think I'm gonna take that door off.
We don't need it.
No.
We don't need
Yeah,
that.
I like
we don't
the
need
door.
that.
No.
We don't need
There's
that door.
only 2 hinges.
Yeah, all you need is a ball pin hammer and a.
I promise you, you guys like the
Phillips
door
head
too. I
screwdriver.
fart a lot.
Hey, you know what?
Why?
I'm gonna call
Why?
his bluff.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to keep us away.
Oh,
We're gonna
yep.
let you in.
Yeah,
We're
good
gonna
call.
let you feel the warm glow of I don't know, of the bright shining faces
I
you
like
see on the
this
side of the No,
I like my chair that they stole from me for some reason because it was broken, but
Yeah.
it was perfectly broken.
That was very Office Space stapler of you.
God, I was so unhappy.
You freaked out, man.
yeah,
Yeah, there was word that they were changing chairs out, and you were in a different room. Went, I hope they don't take my comfy chair.
and then I get back, and literally my comfy
Yeah.
chair is gone.
Scooted in here. You were doing like donuts in there on the scooter. Very upset.
laying down some rubber, no
Whew,
question about it.
man.
By the way, if you want to see a video of me laying down some rubber in a big way, Big Rich TD Fletch on Twitter. I just put it out. It was out yesterday also. But Rich pulling me around the office.
Yeah.
I was like water skiing behind him.
Yeah, that's how we get around here. That's how we get Fletch places fast. It's by human. Instead of horsepower, it's human power.
Right? You know, Fletch glides around here, and it kind of looks like he's ice skating.
It really does.
Yeah.
Like when he goes past a window and he's got a good like kick right before he comes into your field
Yeah.
of view, like he really does glide right past the window.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
Maybe
it is.
you guys know. I have no idea. I start physical therapy next week. Does that mean I'm walking next week?
It means, yeah. Well, you start the process. You probably won't be walking the first week, but it happens quick.
Okay, I have a question though. When you go to physical therapy, let's say after a couple weeks you're there, they're getting some mobility back, they're putting some pressure on it. Rich, you may know the answer to this because you have done a lot of physical therapy.
Tons.
All right. As they try to get him back to health, are they going to put down like an obstacle course? Like, is he going to have to walk on an acorn-filled course to make sure he's ready to come back?
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Okay.
And you know what?
Should we set that up?
I was going to say, I don't think there are any two more well-prepared or well-studied people that Fletcher knows than us to set up said obstacle course to make sure that he can return to golf.
Yeah,
He can return to hiking,
Yeah.
which apparently is a contact sport. I was unaware until he showed up with a broken leg.
Is it hiking? I mean, he just went for a walk.
That was a walk, but I had been hiking like every day for a month.
Listen, sometimes you see those like mall ladies, like the seniors over at the malls, like the mall walkers, like they'll go and don't get in their way. They'll take you out with
they will.
with their Brooks,
Yep,
and their and their Lululemon. Yeah, boy. Get out of the way.
Man.
So check this out. Bo Nix. Bo Nix apparently was a big secret.
Star of the Denver Broncos. He will lead them to prominence. Let's ride all the way to the moon with Bo Nix.
So
You know what? You talk smack. I can't wait. I can't wait until it actually happens.
Albert Breer had the Kirk Cousins news that we were just discussing about how Kirk was unaware that the Falcons were going to draft a quarterback, was none too pleased, because that was the reason why he left Minnesota in the first place, because they were honest with him about drafting a first-round quarterback. Well, check this out. This from Albert Breer also. In order to keep their QB preference a secret, the Broncos draft board in the draft room was not in order of preference. Instead, it was just random. So everyone in the building knew that Bo Nix was their highest priority quarterback.
Right.
They just didn't want anybody else to know.
Yeah, because everybody was going to take Bo Nix.
What an absolutely transparent, ridiculous thing to write. So obviously, this is my guess. There were pictures circulating, and I haven't even looked. So this is just a guess. There were pictures circulating on Denver Twitter, Broncos Twitter, showing stills from the war room footage,
right,
showing that Bo Nix was somewhere way far down the list of quarterbacks, and all the ones they wanted to select at 12 were taken. And so they're like, he's there,
right? Yeah,
and we do need a quarterback.
I'm assuming there was 8 quarterback names on the list.
And he was 6.
Yeah, right. I mean, because look, nobody was taking Bo Nix. That wasn't going to happen. Well, at least not before Denver. So
and not at 12 either.
Right. No. And in fact, Bo Nix, there was questions whether or not he'd go in the first round, but because Denver was so quarterback needy, they had to. I mean, he was the only one left. So yeah, I agree, man. Totally transparent. But yeah, they have to save face somehow, because otherwise, you're getting picked last. That's all. Come on, Bo.
And listen, and you know what? This show knows what that feels like. I mean,
do I ever?
People were walking past this window. We have this 6-foot-long window in our studio. They were walking past. They wouldn't even look in here. They were like, oh gosh. Like you could tell. Like they would even intentionally just look dead forward. They would never turn their head.
Yep.
And the reason why, we were super fat.
Yep.
And really unattractive.
Although that did help me not get picked last in Red Rover.
That's a good point. Yeah. When you had some stocky arms,
that was like the only thing I didn't get picked last on.
We haven't played enough Red Rover in this building, and so we were always picked last.
Yes.
And the sales people walk by, management, nobody wanted to talk to us. And then all of a sudden, Wayne and Chloe showed up in our lives.
Right.
From sdfatloss.com.
Yeah.
And they said, hey guys, we know why people don't want to spend time with you. It's because you're fat, disgusting pigs.
Yep.
That's what they said.
They said right to our face.
That was an exact quote from Wayne.
Yep.
I was like, really, Wayne? And then Chloe is just nodding silently off to the side. No,
she kept like pulling her shirt up, laughing.
Yeah. And then she would say, no, listen. It's not because you guys are just fat. It's because you're also disgusting. No, I'm kidding. They said none of that. In fact, Wayne and Chloe's bedside was incredible. And what I mean by that is the way they handled this whole situation, from our first meeting, which was a free consultation, all the way through till now, because trust me, there are times when I still message them and I have questions for them about the maintenance phase of SD fat loss. The maintenance phase is where most of us are right now. Fletch is doing some weight loss again. And it's because it doesn't stop with just the weight loss.
Oh, their top almost popped.
Is he gonna?
Yeah, like I mean, like it's gone. It's gone. Wow. Wow.
So SDFatLoss.com. If you're looking at Fletch on our stream, he's down 40 plus pounds.
Good Lord.
I'm down over 35. TD's down over 30 pounds. If you do some quick math, that means this show overall has lost over 100 pounds.
You know, after the weight loss, do you know what program director Mary Ayala called you?
What'd she say?
Show pony.
Gosh, show pony. You see that? We're just
I also
Show
forgot how
ponies.
quickly it works. Like I've been back on it for like 6 days. I'm down like 8 pounds.
And how you feel?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no exercise, no counting points, no counting calories, no weird meal plans, no protein shakes, no injections. That's becoming a lot more popular. Prescription drugs used off label. You're going to lose a bunch of weight. You're going to gain it all back. That's called yo-yo dieting. SDFatLoss.com is the natural way. And if you sign up with SD Fat Loss today and you mention Big Rich TD Fletch, you are going to save $200. So why wait? It's a free consultation. Plus, you get $200 off your subscription. SDFatLoss.com, SDFatLoss.com.
It's hour 2 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Padres get a 6-3 win over the Cubbies yesterday in the series opener. Padres with a huge 6-run 6th inning bullpen would hold the lead. 2 more against the Cubs in Chicago. Randy Vasquez on the mound today. NBA Timberwolves making it look easy against the Nuggets. They take a 2-0 series lead with a 106-80 win. Both those games have been played in Denver. The series heads back to Minnesota now. Knicks beat the Pacers 121-117. Some drama in the final minute of that game. Knicks take a 1-0 series lead. Jalen Brunson, another 43-point night. His 4th straight 40-point game in the postseason. He's on a tear. Staying in the NBA, Spurs first overall draft pick Victor Wembanyama, the unanimous rookie of the year. This update presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Champ here. When I'm in San Diego, I'm always hanging out at San Diego Sports 760 with who? Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Whammy!
Yeah, happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. It's a happy Tuesday for us all here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760. Padres rolling. They're in pre-streak mode again. They could take a series against the Cubs with one more win. They could roll into the series at home against the LA Dodgers with a little momentum.
Have they won 6 of the last 7?
Five of well, actually, maybe no. They've won 5 of their last 10. They've won 5 of their last 10, so it's impossible that they've won 6 of their last 7.
All right.
They've won 5 of their last 6, though.
5 of the last 6.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, because
Okay,
then still math.
So yeah, they had the 5-game losing
way,
streak.
6 of the last 7 if they win today.
That's what I meant
They
to
had a
say.
5-game losing streak, 4-game winning streak, 1 loss against the Diamondbacks, 1 win against the Cubs.
So as long as we don't look at the last 10, we just look at the last 6.
I'll tell you what.
Feels good.
You could take a smaller sample size. We could say, you know what the turning point was? It was the game before Arraez arrived as a San Diego Padre in the desert. No, it really does feel like that was a turning point in the season, and we would love to hear from you. If you want to text the show, 70470, send your message with team, the talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. You know how to use it. Click that little microphone button next to the play button. You can leave us a voicemail that we can play live on air today. Also, we have Iron Maiden tickets coming up in just a little bit. We want to hear from you because is it hope renewed? Like, are we feeling different about this Padres team? I know there's been some tough news. I know that Joe Musgrove is on the 15-day IL, and a lot of people are losing their mind over that. But it's just a little elbow inflammation.
You don't say little with those 2 words.
No,
It's just a little.
fine.
He's got a little bit. It's a scratch.
Remember when we heard Mike Clevenger had elbow inflammation?
Okay, come on, relax. Hang on a second.
Whoa.
Nelson Lamet.
Don't say those names. They're
come
not
on.
even here anymore.
Some ibuprofen.
I don't even know who Denelson Lamet is.
What?
That sounds.
He was part of the 3 Ls: Lucchese, Lamet, and Lauer.
Those people are dead to me. You know who isn't? Joe Musgrove. He's got like basically what you would call like a head cold of elbow injury.
Yeah.
This is nothing. Little
Right.
inflammation. Like you said, nothing little Advil liquid gels can't heal.
Right, yeah.
I wonder if he has any loose pocket pills.
I don't have pocket pills today. It's in my bag.
Okay. He's got bag pills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like bag pills.
Here you go.
Red.
Good job. Just a couple of those.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those look like prescription.
Yeah, that's off label stuff. Oh, Zempic. No, I'm just kidding. No, but listen, like Musgrove's gonna be fine. Okay. The bats they're starting to support this pitching staff. Luis Arraez is hitting like 330 here with the Padres, which is a couple ticks above his batting average overall throughout his career. This guy is an unbelievable player. Things are looking up Padres, guys.
By the way, before Xander got here, he's batting 307.
Yeah, Xander was a really good player as a Red Sox. He's not that good as a Padre, which that stinks.
He's currently
this time.
He's currently batting 224.
Okay, all right.
What?
Hang on. Time out.
I just don't want to.
You know what?
I don't want to break ice.
Okay, if you take Xander Bogaerts out of this conversation, like
Okay.
if we just examine the other 8 players in the lineup every day, man, they are really cooking with gas.
Dirksen Profar
Yeah, dude.
sitting like 350 still.
Woo! Solana Beach.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
Solano.
Good, man. Good.
Campusano hitting the cover off the ball every time he gets into the plate.
Jackson Farrell Merrill.
He's slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, but still, he's still there when no one else is.
Correct.
Which is good to see.
Dude,
so somebody's
Profar-
picking up the slack when they need it.
Travis, you could say your thing here because it applies. Profar so far through this season is like on pace for 100 RBIs.
Mhm.
You're paid a dude $1 million and he's going to deliver 100 RBIs if he stays on this current pace.
Probably more. I would say we're an upward trajectory here. The trend is your friend.
Yeah, the trend is your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard him. Look, you're making nothing but sense to me right now.
Trend is your friend.
You know who told me that?
Who?
Carl DeMaio.
Yeah, the trend is your friend. I just like how it's like a throwaway line, but it says so much.
Yeah, right.
Trend is your friend. Look, the point is, the Padres are trending right now. Did you hear us? They've won 5 of their last 6.
Yeah.
If we just eliminate all the games before this that were played, the Padres are en fuego,
Woo!
folks.
They
However,
are, if we want to do this in May, the last wild card spot as of right now. If the
Oh,
season
wow.
ended today, this is a
Jesus.
playoff
So-
team.
wow.
mofo.
This is,
I mean,
good
do
Lord.
we plan the parade route?
Yeah, I mean,
I think
we only got, 4.5 more months?
we've got some Christmas lights and flags. I think we could at least decorate 2 lampposts downtown. Look, the point is, the
We better
Padres,
grease them.
yeah, because people are going to be climbing them. The Padres are back
You
in
know
a
what?
big way.
What's interesting, though, if you do want to do the 10-game sample size, they're a 500 team.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so
But only 3 of those games they've had a rise.
the
Well, I don't know. I would say 5 out of 6, I got a rise.
I'll tell you right now.
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
I am. Do you want to tell
Yeah.
me the trend is your friend?
Yeah, right.
And I am trending
right.
up right now.
Woo!
Yeah, it is the morning monologue. And you know what? Actually, this series against the Cubs had got me thinking about something. I'm going to go first here on the morning monologue. Here's
Yeah.
mine. Wrigley Field, named after the chewing gum. When I was a kid, I loved gum. I loved a blow pop because in the middle of the blow pop, there was chewing gum. I loved double bubble,
Ooh.
bubble yum,
Yeah.
bubblicious.
About bazooka?
Oh, Trident, Dentine. You couldn't, any gum I could get my hand, Big Red.
Yeah. Well, that's, I think, made by Wrigley.
Well, Juicy Fruit, Double Mint, all of the Wrigley flavors.
Yeah, all Wrigley brands, which you could get like for a quarter.
Fruit Stripes.
Pop quiz.
Fruit Stripes, so good for about 3 seconds.
Who is Wrigley? Do you know his name?
Dan?
No.
John.
Bill Wrigley.
William.
Greg.
William
Yeah, no,
Wrigley.
that's what I thought. Yeah,
William
William
Wrigley,
Wrigley.
Jr. He's the club's owner of the Padres in 26. That was what it was named after him. He is the chewing gum, and I don't know this word, magnate.
Oh, yeah. Magnet. It means that he's
like
got a
invented it?
stranglehold on the industry.
Oh.
So he has a monopoly.
He also, I'm assuming, helped with the branding with the Doublemint twins.
Yeah.
Probably not. That was probably like in the 80s.
No, that was him.
1880s.
That was Bill Wrigley.
1880s.
That was his
He was
dying
like-
wish. He was like, "We need twins." They were like, "What?"
Minnesota?
No, damn it, now. But you know what? Something's changed to me. I don't chew gum ever at all. Avoid it like the plague. As soon as I started paying my own dental bills,
Right.
I mean, dude, I want to say it's years since the last time I popped a piece of bubble gum in my mouth. And you know
Hubba
what?
Bubba at the golf course is pretty solid.
I'm with you, dude. I used to enjoy it a lot. But as soon as you start losing fillings or crowns as a result, it happened to me one time. And then I went in and they were like, "What did you do to this thing? It's devastated." I was like, "Well, I was chewing gum and then I chomped on it." They're like, "So, okay, not only is it dangerous because it creates a little suction, a little vacuum every time you chomp on that gum." He was like, "But then you could break other teeth
Sweet.
with the crown that you're now chomping on." I was like, "Great." And he was like, "Yeah, your chewing gum days are over." This was like probably half a decade ago. And I've listened to that advice. Guys, I miss it. I miss it a lot. So I'm going to tell anybody out there, if you're chewing gum right now, you chew your heart out because you don't know when it's going to be taken from you.
Thought somehow this was coming back to the Padres.
No, I'm not
No,
at all.
okay,
Listen,
good.
we are staying with chewing gum. And we will discuss only chewing gum. Anyway, so that's my monologue.
It's a good call. Good call. Mine's on a similar vein. I'm just saying. So Sarah and I went up to the Palomar Observatory over the weekend, reading some of the facts about the futuristic items that have been created because we're staring at stars deep in deep space.
You guys went on a planetarium date.
Yeah. We were there. Did you just roll your eyes, Ben?
Well, someone
Fletcher?
didn't get laid. I know that.
Nerd.
Wow. Listen, you don't know how much a giant dome.
What are we doing?
I swear to God, if you didn't have 3 kids, I would have thought it never happened.
So, anyways, I'm just thinking of all this technology that we've created here as a human race, right?
Yeah.
Particle accelerators.
Yeah.
I mean, we're staring into deep space at black holes, looking at event horizons, which, by the way, I thought, so if a black hole, if you take Einstein's theory of relativity and you talk about like the plane of Earth and space and time, and if you were to fold a piece of paper in half, if the Earth was on one side and a black hole connected to the other, it became like a wormhole, whatever. So we're seeing black holes and the event horizon where light is being sucked into the black hole. However, we never see any black holes where it's coming back out.
Well, now with the James Webb telescope, they actually think they have found some.
Oh, they have.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would like to see more of this.
Yeah. But go on.
Okay.
I'm
So
fascinated
anyways,
where this is going.
Well, it has nothing to do with black holes really at all. What it has to do with is how come we haven't been able to take like a McDonald's chicken McNugget and flash freeze it? Because every chicken McNugget I buy frozen out of a bag is just like, it's like a crumb donut. It's got, dust all over it. I just want like an actual chicken nugget, not the dusted chicken nugget.
This is such a good point. I agree with you.
Is it?
Hang on a little bit. Hang on, follow me here.
What?
I'm
just saying.
So much like TD, and much to my chagrin, I have too felt that way about. And when you have little kids, Fletch, you're going to find this too. I have some real concerns about the way they freeze chicken nuggets because we're in the chicken nugget phase of childhood right now with our oldest. He's 8 years old. 8-year-olds only eat chicken nuggets. And it's going to be this way until he's roughly 10. And then we're going to get him back maybe.
Or in TD's case, 45.
45, right, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I know they can do a better job because you remember that time last fall when we had Kansas City Joe's come on the show?
Yes.
Because we were hitting every single city for Thursday Night Football and talking to a local establishment. Well, Kansas City Joe sent us some onion rings that were flash frozen. And those onion rings, months later, when I put them in the oven, were perfect.
Correct.
So it can be
Correct.
done. It can be done.
But why is it not done?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
The Costco ones are pretty good.
Are they good?
Are they
There's-
dusted with like I don't know, bread dust?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
I think
see
it's
what I'm
called
saying.
Bear or whatever, BARE.
Oh yeah. I've got those in the freezer. They're part of the problem.
No, those are delicious. Oh, I really like them, and they're good for you, so you don't feel bad about them.
Yeah. They're part of the problem. Big frozen chicken. They're not doing it the right way.
No.
Mm-mm.
We have the tools. We have the technology.
We have the talent.
We have the talent.
I mean, mine's a sports one. Do you guys even want it?
Absolutely
Yeah, this
not.
is a sports show.
No.
Yeah. I was
It can be boiled down into a couple things. Matchups make fights, styles make fights. Rich says that a lot. But really, matchups in basketball destroy people. And so with the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves series, you are seeing a Timberwolves team that was literally designed to beat this Nuggets team because of the way they play defense, because of the size they have on the defensive side. If you've been watching Jokic, he looks kind of lost out there right now. And Jamal Murray, same thing. And so you watch this series, and I feel like the Timberwolves will have a pretty easy time actually going through the Nuggets, which is not something I forecasted. But I feel like Denver or Minnesota, then when they move on, is going to have a lot of trouble with other teams because it feels like they're literally designed to beat one team, and that is the Denver Nuggets. Monologue. Boom.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The Mavs or the Thunder. I don't know, man. So Denver felt like the team that felt like in a machine-like way was able to buzzsaw through the Lakers, and I kind of felt like the Lakers would be their toughest matchup in the postseason. But I was wrong. The Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, when you watch these games, it's like they put this team together with the Nuggets in mind.
Well, what they did is they built it the right way, and they also built it differently. So the Denver Nuggets, their role players are more offensive role players. The role players with the Timberwolves are defensive role players. And so but I do agree with you with Towns and Rudy Gobert, they have two centers. They have a stretch 4-5 with Towns, and then they have a true center with Gobert. And you have two players who can guard Jokic. Now, Towns can chase him out to the 3-point line. Gobert is more of a paint player, but I'll tell you right now, I think if the Timberwolves beat Denver, nobody's beating the Timberwolves until they get to
maybe Boston.
Yeah, until they get to the finals, because Boston's a good team. Yeah,
It's funny. Like, you watch Anthony Edwards, the way he
watch-
plays defense outside, and then those two big guys you were talking about playing defense inside. It feels like it's impenetrable. On the YouTube chat, we have laps being given out.
For what?
Not for you.
Oh,
It's YouTubers fighting YouTubers.
oh, they're giving each other laps.
Yeah. So Peter Salas made a dumb planet joke because of TD's whole
Oh, what do you
Okay.
say?
All right.
It was something about Uranus being his first favorite planet, whatever. Paris then jumps in and says, Peter, take a lap. Peter, I second that. Take a lap.
No way. I would say absolutely not.
Jeez.
Because the Taizu Zoo in Jiangsu province, is that in Japan?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
For their panda exhibit, they just dyed 2 chow dogs to look like pandas.
Oh my god.
No way.
Oh my gosh. Oh, maybe this is in China. Yeah. Look at this. Dude, I had no idea how much chow dogs look like pandas. I thought you were looking at pandas.
All I'm saying is we could do this and we could have a panda here in studio.
Guys, I have a white dog.
Yeah.
Just
oh my
saying.
gosh, little panda.
Yeah.
My dog's too good looking for that.
Well, your dog is
What
like
are
a
you talking
like
about?
a blonde, like almost like a golden retriever color.
He's beautiful.
But like on the level of bears, like the most loved bears, pandas are top.
Way up there.
Yeah.
Way up there.
I
I,
mean,
would
They
say
just sit around stoned all day.
pandas are in my list goes like this: Berenstein,
Oh wow.
pandas, gummy. Like gummy
Oh
as the
yeah,
top spot.
gummy bears are.
There's no.
yeah.
I had a gummy bear last night.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a
feel like
little
gummy
bit of
bears-
THC in it.
Oh,
Sweet.
Nice.
Sweet. I would say okay. So now I've got to think about it because I do like just like a grizzly bear. I think they're cool.
Yeah, grizzlies are lower on my list because I'm terrified of grizzlies.
Like you don't want to cuddle one.
No.
How about a
no.
koala bear?
Actually, I did watch a gentleman who sings in a Eastern European heavy metal band wrestle a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
I saw that on Twitter last night. and
Rewind.
yeah.
Tell that story.
Okay, hang on. His name is, I think it's Alex
Keaton,
the
P. Keaton.
Terrible.
Oh, I've seen this guy. Like, he'll scream without the mic and you can still hear him even though it's a crazy packed festival.
I think. Oh, okay, yeah. We're thinking of the same guy. I think his name's Alex the Terrible, and I'm gonna look up Bear. And dude, it is incredible. Let's see if I can find this.
He's wrestling
There it is. Look at
a
this.
grizzly bear.
This is
He
him.
will eventually lose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Whatever's happening here.
So
Yeah, that's it.
Bear. The bear is being nice to him.
he's.
I mean,
yeah.
he's got his head is in the bear's mouth.
So they're friends apparently. I guess him and this bear, they're friends together
For
and-
now.
until the bear's hungry.
Yeah.
Or the bear just goes bear.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But yeah, it's pretty fascinating that you can develop that kind of kinship with a giant killing machine.
Those videos are so cool. Have you seen the guy who's like been accepted into the Lion Pride and he'll like go out and hang out with them for like a week?
Yeah, but this actually.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
that's what the Grizzly Man did. You remember
Yeah.
the documentary
Yeah.
on that guy?
He died.
Oh yeah, got
Yeah,
eaten.
he got eaten.
He got eaten.
They actually pulled his remains out of the bear.
Did they really? Is
Yeah,
that how
There's recording of the audio, but not the video.
yeah.
Is that what
Well,
it is?
Mhm.
Well, I think there was a video camera that was on as he was being eaten, but there was no video of it. Like it was in the sleeping
Cool.
bag. So then they actually tracked down the bear. They found it. They killed the bear. They cut the bear open, and Grizzly Man was inside of him.
Yeah, they found him.
So yeah, that works.
And by the way, this wasn't like a Jonas and the Whale situation where he was like reading
No,
books by
no.
candlelight
No,
inside the bear.
He
No.
was hamburger meat.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. He got eaten. He got eaten. All right.
There's a lot of different bears.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot.
yeah, there are.
Huh.
Well, I actually thought there were only. I mean, I named 3 species. What did I say? Panda, gummy, Berenstein.
Yeah.
What other species of bear?
Polar bear.
Polar
Yeah,
bear.
polar bear.
Black bear, I guess.
What is a spectacled bear?
Don't
I
they
know.
call like large hairy gay men bears?
They do, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah. Where
there's
does that rank?
Boy,
Like, in the
That's on
level of Bears.
Probably top 7. I would say.
Top 7, top 8 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah.
Fletch, your top 5 guy. Wait, is this the dude?
Fletch is the top.
This is the guy who's been. I don't know what you guys were saying, so you might have been setting me up for something bad. This is the guy that's been accepted into a lion pride, and he'll go out and like live with these lions for a week and play games with them, like sneak up behind them and tickle them, and they love him, dude.
That's a mistake.
Sneak up behind a lion and tickle him.
Look,
this guy, you're looking at a guy who's not gonna have hands for very much
longer.
longer.
Check out this photo right here. I was taking a nap yesterday.
Yeah,
okay, I woke up and this is what was staring at me. Okay,
whose cat is that?
That's the cat. That's the catastrophe.
Oh my god!
Yeah, still alive. So that's Finley.
Gosh. Finley the cat is
but
still
I'm telling
alive.
you, Finley's staring at me like he could kill me. That's what that lion's gonna do.
Oh, without a doubt. The lion is just like you said, is just being nice. It's just being nice until he decides he's hungry,
right?
Or he wants to see something bleed.
I feel like I've followed this guy for like 5 years.
Start with the soft parts,
and he hasn't gotten eaten
I
yet.
sent you guys a video.
He looks like
of a lion eating a zebra. Guess what it was chewing on first?
His wiener.
Yeah, because that's a point of entry.
Yep. Listen, and I used to start at the soft spots.
What?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a transition.
Not like that.
Oh.
But I'll tell you what.
This guy kind of looks like he wants to be David Blaine, but also Nick Hexum from 311.
Yeah. He got the blonde hair and the arm sleeve tattoos.
Right. So super cool guy as we watch lions just mauling.
Oh, see?
Yeah,
See?
zebras.
That lion was just eating the giraffe's wiener first.
And that's how I used to eat giraffes until I met Wayne and Chloe. And they said, look, you don't have to eat the whole giraffe. Okay.
Right.
You don't have to eat the whole giraffe.
No. Put some of it in the fridge.
Yeah. It's fine. In fact, we're going to show you the healthy way to eat so you can lose some of this weight that you got all over your body. You need to shed some pounds, buddy. And we did. And look, I was way overweight, the heaviest I'd ever been in my life. I felt terrible. I slept terrible. I had aches and pains everywhere. And Wayne and Chloe at SD Fat Loss said, we can help with all that. And we're going to help you lose some weight. And you're going to lose it real quick. You're going to lose 20 to 30 pounds in 8 weeks' time. And I said, you are liars.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen.
We said that. We actually threatened violence. And they said, please stop.
Yeah. They're like, what are you doing? Like, we're supposed to be working together. And I was like, you get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
They came back a week later. They're like, have you calmed down?
Right. Yeah. That's all part of the consultation, which is free, If you go to sdfatloss.com, they'll do the same for you. So once they talk to you, they figure out what's going to work best for you. They put together a tailor-made plan for you to lose weight, and you're going to lose 20 to 30 pounds in 8 weeks' time. I guarantee it. Just follow along the plan. I guarantee it because it worked for me. I mean, I am living proof that you can do this because I'm terrible at diets. I don't like to exercise. I don't like to do the fad diets. I don't like to count points or calories or drink some shake or eat some granola bar I don't want. You don't have to do that with SD Fat Loss. You're going to do it the healthy way. You're going to look good rolling into summertime because you're going to be 20 or 30 pounds lighter, and you're going to feel so much better. So go there right now, sdfatloss.com. Mention the show. Mention Big Rich TD and Fletch sent you, and you'll save $200. Don't wait, sdfatloss.com.
This update is presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Padres get a 6-3 win over the Cubs yesterday in the series opener. Padres with a huge 6-run sixth inning. Bullpen holds the lead. 2 more against the Cubbies in Chicago. Randy Vasquez on the mound today for the Friars. NBA, Timberwolves making it look easy against the Nuggets. They win 106-80 last night. T-Wolves take a 2-0 series lead. Series heading back to Minnesota. And the Knicks beat the Pacers 121-117 in Game 1. Knicks have a 1-0 lead. Staying in the NBA, Spurs first overall draft pick from a year ago, Victor Wembanyama, the unanimous Rookie of the Year in 2024. This update was presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Big Rich City and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. We got some Iron Maiden tickets coming up here in just a little bit. Iron Maiden going to be out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater October 4th. Concert week almost here. Starting tomorrow, $25 tickets to over 5,000 shows, up to 75% off on sale. Like I said, tomorrow through the 14th. That's 1 week to get $25 concert and comedy tickets and fill your summer with shows. To get your tickets, go to livenation.com/concert week. And if you're thinking, okay, I'm on my way to work, I'm listening in the car, listen to my favorite show here, Big Rich, CD, and Fletch on San Diego Sports 760.
That's us.
That's us. When you're thinking, I don't want to get out of the car because I don't want to miss these concert tickets, these Iron Maiden tickets. No worries, because you can listen to us on the free iHeartRadio app. So make sure you have that downloaded to whatever device you own, and we will give you a time to call in to win these tickets. Coming up very shortly here, but that way you can take us with you wherever you go, only on the free iHeartRadio app. We were just talking about like the best bears, favorite bears. You know what's a good bear? In fact, it's the name of my Traeger. Bear Grylls. You don't like Bear Grylls? Why do you have that look?
I got nothing for that.
What? You're supposed to name your Traeger.
You named your barbecue?
Yeah, I was thinking Missy Misdemeanor Pelliot, but it was already taken.
Oh, wait, you like have to name it?
Yeah, you could. I mean, it's just as you log into the account, it says name your grill, and so you put a name to it.
And no one had taken Bear Grylls?
I'm sure somebody. It's just yours. There was actually the sales guy when we bought it had Missy Misdemeanor Pelliot, which I was like, God, that's really good. But yeah, see, Bear Grylls. You know what I like about Bear Grylls is the way he says slippery. Like if he's climbing something, like he was climbing a like a sheer cliff, and he goes, "It's really slippy." Which, why are you baffled by this, Fletch?
Are you guys talking Bear Grylls?
Well,
He's talking about his Bear Grylls.
Well, no, okay, no. It started with us talking about bears, and I forgot about a very important bear, Bear Grylls.
Oh yeah, one of the finest species of bear.
Yeah.
Which is what TD named his Traeger.
Did you really? Oh my God, there it is, and you spelled it with a Z. Mine is boring. Mine's Rich's Grill or something like that.
No, even normal.
Well, no, I kind of like this idea. I never even thought to name my Traeger anything cool.
Yeah,
Hang on,
so I'm saying, like the guy we bought it from named it. What is going on in this video?
I'm telling you, this dude has been accepted in the lion tribe.
I couldn't stare at anything but the
lion's balls.
Yeah.
They are big. It looks like a couple of buoys.
Yeah.
Pendulous testicles.
Let
me see.
So I was saying the guy we bought the Traeger from named it Missy Misdemeanor Pelliot.
Mine's just Rich O. That is Missy Pelliot. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Good.
Yeah, that is.
You know what? Hit us up on the talkback mic. What are you naming your Traeger? Okay.
Yeah, everybody should name their grill.
Yeah, you got to name the grill.
Even if
Not
you
for
have
me from the text line, lap Travis.
What?
Not for me.
God, I'm going to actually take the lap.
Yeah, well, you owe us one from yesterday after crawling.
You want me to go
under the
2
window.
laps?
Yeah, I think we do need to see 2 laps out of you. There
We
you
still
go.
don't have a punishment for faking a lap.
Yeah,
There
I know.
should
We
be a
got to
punishment.
figure that out. That was. There he goes. Now you got to wheel out there and see if he crawls back. All right, so Fletch, he's getting up. He's going to check and make sure that TD is actually running this lap. He's got 2 laps, so you might want to stick out there for a little while. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, let's see. Is he going? Was that 2?
There was 1. It just dawned on me. I can log into the stream.
So TD is going to log onto the stream while taking the lap. I'll tell you right now, this is punishment. This is punishment for us all, but we're gonna wait it out. We're gonna see him on the stream.
Should have
All right,
saved
here
it for 8:15, so we would have to do his halftime right after.
I know it's better that way. There he is, Jamie, little Scott Stapp, staring in through the window, and Travis is on StreamYard. Wait, hang on. Accept him in? Can you accept him in?
He's not on yet.
Oh, okay, there you go. He's looking for the link. Yeah, listen, Bear Grylls, by the way, that show, I found out in between filming that show when he was going on these expeditions, he would go to a hotel in between. There he is. He's back. We should have a roving cam just ready at any moment.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's smart. It's really smart.
Okay.
Hey, so I was just saying to Fletch, Bear Grylls, he would go to hotels in between his outings.
What?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It was fake?
Yeah, the show was fake.
What about Survivor Man?
No!
Les, whatever his name was.
Les, whatever. Yeah, I forget his last name.
Because I
too.
watched way too much of that show.
So
Wait.
he actually stayed outside trying to survive. And there was like beef between these survival
they
shows.
hated each other.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I think it was because Les was like, that dude is probably getting paid more than Les.
Bear Grylls?
Yeah.
Way cooler.
Well,
Way
And he
cooler.
would do like extreme stuff where Survivor Man was literally just trying to survive.
just trying to survive. And he would
Yeah.
starve a lot of the times. Like
Yeah.
he would just be like, I haven't eaten anything in 7 days. I think I need to call this
How
one.
would you guys do
Survivor
all
Man.
alone?
Alone?
Yeah. They like
I-
drop you off in the Arctic and you like literally have nothing except the supplies on your back. You get
Not-
10 items.
Wait,
Well,
like,
think I'm
do I
out after day
have to? Do I have to, or is it something I'm able to not sign up for?
No, it's like something you want to do, like in this alternate universe, and you're going out there trying to compete for the $500,000 or whatever it is, and you have to outlast everybody else. It's the Arctic, it's cold. There's going to be snow in a few weeks. You got to get your shelter ready. You got to get going and feed yourself the whole time, and make sure your calories in are more than your calories out, even though that's just unfeasible.
I get to choose 10 items.
You get 10 items to take with you.
3 of those items are duct tape.
oh yeah, that makes
Like
sense.
3
yeah.
rolls of duct tape,
Yeah. Duct tape is super handy.
and then probably like either gasoline or lighter fluid.
Can't take that. It's like bow and arrow. It has to be stuff that you would have had as in old times. So you can like a tarp is okay, I guess.
So-
But they get an axe, a tarp, a toothbrush usually.
So duct tape's out.
I don't know. You can probably take it.
I see that's the thing. Like I hate the idea of like they're like, yeah, you got to survive, but you got to do it our way. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Let me. I want to bring. You know what I want? One of my items would be a generator.
Well, you know what they should do? They
I
should
want
make a show.
electricity.
They should make a show. Right. Exactly.
And a PS5.
Uh,
Yeah.
Make a show called Apocalypse, and then they have a small city that these people are stuck in.
That's brilliant.
Okay, so this is 2 days in a row. You've had billion-dollar television ideas.
Come on.
Zompires?
Zompires, which kind of ties into Apocalypse,
Yeah, you
if we're
did
not
right.
being honest. I
This
mean,
is-
if we are being honest.
This is brilliant.
The apocalypse idea might be better because that's feasible. You could just design, like they have all these abandoned cities all over the world.
Yeah.
You just go to one of those, you put supplies throughout the city, you release 10 people with nothing on their backs.
Right. And then they have to then they're set in 10 different locations. They have to get to the city.
oh,
It's Hunger Games.
this, speaking of
Basically.
hunger, if you go, it's basically Hunger Games. If you go and see the Miami Grand Prix. So, are you guys familiar with F1 racing? Like, it's grown in popularity in the United States. It's not popular. I wouldn't call it a popular sport, but it's a scene.
The Netflix show is popular.
A lot of famous
Yeah.
people want to be seen at these races now. And I think it's because there's a huge international crowd and their agents and publicists are telling them like, no, you need to go to F1 because this is how we get in Germany. This is how the European audience is going to get to know you better.
Right. I'm into car racing. I dig it, but F1 just doesn't really do it for me.
Did you see the tweet that went viral from the suites at F1 racing at the, I think it's at Dolphin Stadium.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you're in a suite and you want a main lobster roll, or I guess it's a platter of lobster rolls, you're paying $280. If you're in the suite and you want yourself, let's see, the chicken wings, you're going to pay, oh, where was it? This is a different menu.
Oh yeah.
But
I saw it as well.
the
It was-
chicken wings were $110.
Yeah. Yeah. How about the drinks? You want the Armand de Brignac Rosé? It's $3,600.
Oh,
What?
here. The crispy, I was wrong. The crispy wing board is $190.
Wasn't the nachos like 180?
The nachos
Right.
are 180.
Right.
The steamed buns, whatever that means.
Sounds hot.
Is there anything you could put on nachos to make it $180?
Ooh, I like this.
By the way, steamed buns, it's Korean barbecue shiitake mushroom. It's pickled vegetables and spicy mayo. And
that's the stuff J-Riff eats.
You have to pay $120 for a platter of those.
But $180 nachos, I think I could do this.
How
You think you could build $180? I mean,
Let's go
to
take
me,
like A5 certified fresh Wagyu.
No, that's not what you're getting on this.
Well,
I can
yeah.
promise
No,
you
but
that.
I'm saying if I'm building out
if you're doing it,
nachos that are worth $180, it is going to be some of the nicest steak you've ever eaten in your life, sprinkled over the top of some of the nicest cheese you've ever eaten in your life, on top of perfect chips that are cooked perfectly through, that are still almost a little bit chewy. I like that in my tortilla chips.
This is upsetting. This is like, you know what this means to me? Like, and don't get me wrong, these are sweet prices. I'm sure if we saw some of what people would pay at SoFi Stadium during a Rams or Chargers game.
It is stupid. I spent $70 on like 2 chicken wings and a beer.
Right. You know, and that's just for the commoners. Like, imagine what people are paying in field level suites. You know, imagine what people are paying in suites at the Super Bowl. Like, you know, we're turning our nose up at this because it's so ridiculous, but we haven't seen some of those prices. It's equally ridiculous. I guess it goes to show you what people would be willing to pay to go to these events. It's amazing how big certain sports are internationally, and how the American audience has not caught up. Like soccer, it just has not caught up in the United States yet. F1, it has not caught up in the United States yet, but clearly people are going in droves if you can charge this kind of money in suites.
well, I'll tell you, if you want the average American to be into F1, you don't chase them out with prices like this. You want to see where it gets full? Look at dollar hot dog night out at Mets. So no, you're chasing me away and making me go, I hate you, F1. if you're charging prices, honestly, like, you don't want me to be a part of this. You don't want me to be. I'm not going to buy $180 nachos. I'm not going to buy $1,000 drink. I'll buy a $5 hot dog. I'll be there all day long with a $5 hot dog.
There's something okay, and don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be nationalistic here. I'm not trying to be like America's the best. That's not what this argument is about. But there's something about soccer. There's something about F1, and golf has this problem too. Look, that's a sport that Americans like. It feels effete. It feels elitist. It feels douchey. Yeah. I mean, to put it in
Pinkies out.
Yeah. And it's a problem that golf is trying to overcome, but it's hard because guess what? Your golfers, they come from country clubs. Like, that's the culture you're drawing your athletes from. So they're not going to easily connect. You know what the closest person to like the standard American is, and he's almost cartoonish, is John Daly.
Right.
John
right.
Daly.
Love that guy.
He's and I mean, he seems to be the most approachable pro golfer who's ever existed. And because guess what? He's just like us.
Because he eats at Hooters.
Yeah, he eats at Hooters. When he hits a couple of balls into the lake, he snaps his pitching wedge over his leg. Like, you know, he's made the game approachable for some people. It's unfortunate that nobody's really followed in his footsteps. I haven't seen that in F1. I haven't seen that in soccer, really. There's nobody who really I could connect myself to.
What doesn't make sense for me with F1, and I feel the same way about NASCAR, maybe it's because I've never been to a race, but it's like you get your seat and you can't even see the cars go by you because they're going so fast, right?
Here's a photo of the steak sandwich, I guess is what that is.
Ooh.
Doesn't look
Yeah.
that good.
That don't look like $275.
Yeah.
In fact, a scoop of ice cream in the suites were $245.
See, I thought suites meant you, and I've never been in a suite because I'm me. But I thought that meant you were like all
I'm not
inclusive.
allowed anymore.
Like you go and there's like just a pitcher of Coors Light right there for you to drink as much as you want, and then there's sandwiches for you to chew on while you're drinking your Coors Light.
Some things are gratis, other things you got to pay for. But I mean, again, like look, the buying price. I'm not saying that it isn't the same at an NFL game. It's expensive. You want to go to an NFL game, you want to bring a family of 4, you spend like $1,000 to $1,500 to do it the right way.
But guess what? I haven't gone to an NFL game since I haven't got a ticket for $65.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. Now, there may be some point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I'll pony up a few $100 to go to this thing. But to bring a family of 4 and you're dropping $2,000 to go to a game, it's unheard of.
And I will say this, even though the NFL has that same problem, at least the players are relatable.
Yeah.
At least like it feels like I can look at certain guys and I go, yeah, that guy kind of grew up like me. Like I get it. F1, it seems completely unapproachable. Golf has this problem, like I mentioned, in soccer, unfortunately feels elitist too. And I don't know if that's ever going to translate to an American audience. All right. Coming up on the other side, we break down further the greatest roast of all time. We've got a lot, and I mean a lot of stories that are tumbling out in the after effect of that roast. So we'll get to some of those. But before we run, want to talk to you about the Good Feet store. It is a back saver and a game changer for me. I left my NFL career and I kind of felt broken, bad lower back pain. I had a bad knee on the right side. The hip pain was coming on. That has all virtually disappeared thanks to the arch supports at the Good Feet store. So what you do is you go in for a free fitting and test walk. They make sure that the arch supports you leave the store with are perfectly formed and fitted to your feet. And then they check on you a week later to make sure everything's going smoothly. Otherwise, you can come back in and get things worked on. It is the perfect system because all it is changing is just the way you stand, the way you walk. And they've got this whole way of like slowly introducing the arch supports. So you're not overdoing it at first. And as you wear these more and more, you realize like, oh yeah, they were right. The knee pain is going away. I felt it immediately with my back. Lower back pain, it can ruin your day, it can ruin your life. But slowly but surely, as I wore these arch supports every single day, the back pain melted away to the point where I talk about it all the time. I have so many more good days than I've ever had with my lower back, and it's all thanks to the Good Feet store. So if you're struggling with foot pain, ankle pain, knee pain, hip pain, lower back pain, mid back pain, even if you have neck pain, these can help you because it helps your posture. The Good Feet store arch supports, when you buy them, you buy local because they have a manufacturing plant right here in Carlsbad, California, 200 plus locations around the US and overseas. So there's one close to you. Check them out at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. We got those Iron Maiden tickets coming up for you.
Yeah.
So stick around. We'll tell you exactly how to win those. Also, we have a bunch of updates on the other side of the greatest roast of all time, Tom Brady's roast that aired live on Netflix on Sunday.
People are angry.
People are angry. People are concerned. There's been a lot of reaction to a lot of different things. So we're going to attack this.
People can screw off.
Well,
Have you ever heard so much reaction from a roast?
no.
No.
Do these people not know what a roast is?
Well, but here's the thing. I agree with that point.
Well,
I agree with that point that you just made.
This is is this the first roast since the COVID Great Reset?
It might be. It certainly, let's put it this way. There has never been a roast of a more famous human being during their time of fame. Like, you could argue that Tom Brady at this moment is the most famous person ever roasted.
Right.
I mean, because
Bieber?
Trump?
no, Bieber was on a downslide. Bieber,
Oh, no, that might have been his top.
the reason why Bieber was roasted was because that was when people were pissed at Bieber because he was racing Lamborghinis around
That's right.
Southern
Yeah.
California. He was getting
Charlie
into
Sheen.
trouble. The roast of Charlie Sheen.
That was a great one.
Also, both of those happened to try to recover a broken image.
Right.
Like the roast of Tom Brady, this guy, he is at the highest of heights right now.
In fact, I think this roast helped his image.
Oh, I agree. I think it made him way more relatable.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you do this, is to welcome people into your world a little bit, show people that you have a sense of humor.
Well, to me, it swung the Team Giselle people, or at least some, to Team Brady.
I agree.
I mean, it changed the perspective here in a big way.
Yeah, because it's what happened to Brady. Let's be very honest. It's horribly embarrassing if you really start doing the math. It
Right.
doesn't take mental gymnastics to start pitying. Now, look,
Well, because
relationships are complicated.
Yeah,
We know there's
but
another side of the story.
I'm just saying the narrative prior to this roast was that Tom Brady threw away his family because he wanted to play football. And now all of a sudden, there's a different feeling.
Yeah, kind of like maybe she ran off with the karate coach.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But we'll get to some of that reaction here coming up in just a few minutes. And Iron Maiden tickets. And we got to talk Padres.
Oh,
We got Four Corners with Jon Fink.
Oh my gosh, we have so
Lot
many
to
things to do. So many things to do. Including this. Everybody knows that it's that time of year, right? You know, it's about the middle of the year. A lot of people, they're looking at their calendar like, yeah, I'm starting to get there. Like, yeah, you're licking the fronts of your teeth and you're like, yeah, it's time to go into the dentist's office for a teeth cleaning. And you get those reminders, you get the text messages from your dental officer or the email, and you ignore them. Well, don't ignore it this time. In fact, this time make a change. Call up Ocean View Dental, and you can visit their website at oceanviewdental.net. oceanviewdental.net to be linked with the greatest dentist I've ever worked with, Dr. Jordan Colby. He is I can't sing his praises loud enough. He has changed my life. So I had a tooth that needed to be yanked out, a tooth extraction. I needed 3 implants that needed to be put in, and I needed what I was told 18 months to do this procedure. He did it in 3 months. I only showed up to his office. I was told I was going to have to visit multiple different offices for the imaging to be done, and meet with, a specialist in this, and have the oral surgery done at this clinic, and then go back to my initial dentist. I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, I have a life, I have work, I have kids. There's no way. And so I was stalling until I met Dr. Jordan Colby. We got this thing done in literally 90 days. I didn't miss a single day of work due to any situation with the surgery or any issue with the implants. Everything worked seamlessly. I'm still happy with the results. This happened a year ago now. Dr. Jordan Colby is a miracle worker. So if you need a great dentist, not a good dentist, a great family dentist, you need to call up oceanviewdental.net. Go to their website. Their number's there. They have before and after pictures to see some of the great work that he's done on people with some seriously tragic dental situations that he's saved. Again, that's oceanviewdental.net, oceanviewdental.net.
It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. 2 more against the Cubs after the Padres won yesterday 6-3 with a huge 6-run 6th inning. Randy Vasquez is going to be on the mound today for the Pods. NBA Timberwolves making it look easy against the Nuggets. They win 106-80 last night. Knicks take off or beat the Pacers yesterday. They take a 1-0 series lead as well. Staying in the NBA, Spurs first overall pick, Victor Wembanyama, unanimous Rookie of the Year. This update was presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. San Diego Sports 760 Padres win. The Met Gala has come and went, and we've got a gala you got to look at.
Holy hot damn, you talking Emily Ratajkowski?
Okay, this just came across my Twitter, and I've gone down a very, very deep rabbit hole.
Did you put something in the grid I missed?
No, I will put it in the grid right now, though.
Where Emily Ratajkowski at the Met Gala?
Yeah, you're going to want to look that up.
Okay, hang on. I can do that.
Yeah, actually, just you you always go to Google, go to X, go to Twitter.
Oh yeah, I always go to the
That's
Google.
where all the pervs are. Yeah. Because you just type her name in and it knows what to do.
Which one's pervier, Threads or Twitter?
Oh, Twitter by far.
Reddit is the answer.
Oh, Reddit is
yeah.
also really pervy, but I like Twitter's search better.
This was her dress last night.
Here, look, this is a video.
It's transparent.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah. So does this dress.
Do you think that they handed out buddy bands?
I hope so. If I had a buddy band to give, like a hall pass buddy band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emily Ratajkowski.
Let's call Annie.
I will say this though. She's like a cobra. Like, I'm pretty sure if I was in the same room as this human being, I would be nervous.
You'd forget how to talk.
Yeah, I would be like, okay, all right, we got to make sure that we face it at all times. Like, there's no turning my back, just in case. Yeah, I would not know what to do with myself.
I'm looking at the fashion of the Met Gala now. So the Met Gala, I don't really know what it is. They wear weird things.
It's raising money for something.
But they have to dress
museum.
up.
It's for the Metropolitan Museum. It's for right. It's a museum fundraiser.
Okay. Oh, it's actually raising money for the museum.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, so I mean, some people look really nice and some people look really weird.
Yeah.
Zendaya looked kind of scary.
Yeah, look dumb.
Did you see Lizzo's outfit?
No, I'm looking at Gigi Hadid. She looks nice.
Lizzo's outfit, it looked like she had like a basketball hoop around her neck, and it
Who's
extended
this?
pretty high, and I just wanted to like shoot paper balls into it.
Bad Bunny looks like he is either going to try out for Three Musketeers.
He looks like a matador.
Yeah. I don't know who this person is. Adwawa Oboya. She's got her baby bump.
Oh yeah,
on display.
She's preggers. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. She's got a full-on bare midriff.
Sydney Sweeney looks unrecognizable.
Yeah, that does not look like her.
Wouldn't know that at all.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got here?
Is that Ben Simmons?
This Lewis Hamilton, an F1 driver. Wouldn't know who that is if I passed him on the
Camila
street.
Cabello.
Camila Cabello. Okay.
Oh yeah. Whoa, she just came up right there. She looks great.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Dude, very into the Met Gala.
Wait.
Just on the Emily Ratajkowski front.
Wait, her purse is a block of ice? Not great. That's dumb. It's actually a block of ice.
Maybe it's epoxy.
It says it's ice.
It looks like ice.
It says it's ice.
Okay.
And there's a rose frozen into it.
That's dumb. You can't put anything in that. Yeah, that's
just for the pictures.
Useless.
What isn't dumb is the Padres, what they're doing right now, because let's face it, boys, they made a big trade, and so far it's paid off. Luis Arraez right now, he's hitting well over 300.
Right.
Okay.
Well, but the past 2 games he's only hitting like 100.
Well, hang on a second. It's a game of averages.
Well, okay, all right.
You take short sample sizes and we celebrate those. So like over the last 6 games, Padres have won 5 of them.
That's true.
Okay. Right now, they're pre-streaking. One more win They're on a win streak.
How many games are there left?
No. They're on a 1-game win streak.
Yeah, they
No,
lost.
wait.
They lost the final game to Arizona, and
Oh,
then
no,
they
I
won
thought
yesterday.
They won the game.
No,
leaving
wait.
Arizona.
No, they lost the final game in Arizona. They won the first 2.
You're absolutely right.
I know I am.
Golly.
Okay, well, they're still pre-streaking.
They are pre-streaking
Because if you win 1, that's pre-streak. You
Mhm.
win
today
2.
is the day they would take their shirt off. If they win today and tomorrow, then they take their shirts and their pants off.
Okay.
Okay, so
divided
sweep
by
the Cubs.
6.
That's easy. That's all. No
Let's
big
see,
deal.
20. Okay, we got 20 games. I don't know. I'm trying to do the math. I'm trying to figure out what their record would be right now if we stay on this 6-game win 5 out of 6 every time.
I would
Whatever
say,
it is, it's better than everybody else.
Yeah. In baseball, I would say that they would have the top record in baseball.
Yeah, I would say.
argue.
I would say they'd
No,
probably do okay.
They're only going to lose like 20 more games this year.
Yeah, that's right. That's the math. There you go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah. Some means
Probably
they're going
close to a record.
They're going to win 100 more.
I mean, it's not a 465-foot baguette record.
No, that was
But,
impressive.
Yeah, but it's a good record. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
We will have a quick halftime in just a sec, and then we're going to get to our Four Corners news correspondent, Jon Fink, every Tuesday. But before we get to that, gotta discuss the reaction from the greatest roast of all time. So Tom Brady, he puts himself out there in front of teammates and friends and celebrities, and he gets absolutely destroyed for 3 hours before about a 5-minute retort right there at the end, and then the roast was over. The reaction that has tumbled out afterward, though, I mean, it's coming from every single different direction. But one of the most notable ones was Gisele Bundchen, his ex-wife, who ran off with the jiu-jitsu instructor, said that she thinks that the portrayal of her family and her children was absolutely despicable. She's completely disappointed with how this roast went. Does anybody sympathize with Gisele here? Does anybody feel no?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Okay.
I don't either.
It's a roast.
Yeah, it was
Your
supposed
life
to be
is public
funny.
anyways. It's a roast, and like, okay, the one I feel kind of bad about, and the one I understand.
There's one apparently.
Well, Aaron Hernandez's ex-fiance is pissed off because everyone made jokes about him being dead.
Okay, he's a murderer.
Yeah.
Correct,
Yeah,
which is
so-
why I don't feel all the way bad
Yeah,
about it.
tough blank.
Yeah. Another like public figure who murdered. By the way,
No,
no,
not
it's
convicted.
Convicted murder.
Convicted
And by the
murderer.
way, allegedly was involved in other murders, not just in Massachusetts, but also allegedly involved in, I mean, this is per rumors, when he was down in Florida playing with the Gators.
The reason I feel worse about that one is because Aaron Hernandez, like, immediately has no relationship to Tom Brady other than they were teammates together, right? And so taking shots at Aaron Hernandez was a little less on the nose money. But Tom Brady and Gisele Bundchen have been in the news frequently for the last weeks because of the jiu-jitsu
There's no
instructor.
relationship with O.J. Simpson either. I mean, they played football. That's the relationship.
Yeah.
They poked at that.
Yeah. I mean,
Tom Brady made a 9/11 joke.
did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't even
I
remember.
don't remember. Well, you know, I didn't get to Tom Brady yet. I got
Okay.
like an hour in. This
was
thing's
talking
3
about-
hours long.
It was, I thought it was funny, but it's still like,
Dude,
come on.
hang on a second. I don't care. It's comedy.
Right.
Look, like
Yeah.
if
Right.
you are swinging for the fences to be funny and you miss, as long as the intent was to entertain and be funny. Look, there are bad jokes, don't get me wrong. And you know what they get? They get no laughs or boos.
Yeah.
Like that's how it works. So when you're at a comedic event and you're trying to make people laugh and you miss, I mean, you can't all of a sudden flip-flop and say, well, now it's serious. Now he really meant what he said. No, it was a joke. He's trying to tell a joke. And so any of the jokes told about Aaron Hernandez, I understand it's going to maybe pull on the heartstrings of loved ones and people who miss him, but he did murder a guy and he went to prison. Okay, so I don't know. That feels like fair game. Now, in terms of Gisele, kind of an innocent bystander because Tom Brady's the one who wants to be roasted, not Gisele Bundchen. I get it. But at the same token, you're a public person. You're going to take the slings and arrows as being a public person like anybody who avails themselves to that.
Yeah, and they're saying the things that everybody's thinking. You just don't say it, and it's funny. It's
And
funny
that's
to call it out.
Most of those jokes were hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely landed. I mean, look, I understand you don't like it. I understand it. You don't want to be the brunt of a joke, but you were. Well, Padres, they beat the Cubs yesterday 6-3. That's 5 wins in the last 6 games for the Padres. They are now back to 500 on the season. Unbelievable. Yu Darvish pitched 5 scoreless innings. It was a beaut. He looked good out there. Padres play the Cubs again today, 4:40 first pitch. Great news, guys. Amy Schmidt, known as the world's sexiest athlete, has qualified for the 2024 Olympics. Thank God.
Yes.
Yes. She will be competing in the mixed 4x400 meter relay after participating in the World Athletics Relays Bahamas over the weekend.
Okay.
I don't know what the 4x400 meter is.
No,
running.
They run 100 meter and then they hand
they
off.
had
and
a
then they
baton?
do the thing, and then one more, and then one more.
That's a dumb sport. That's dumb. Yeah. I mean, they should drive it. To be quite honest.
That's a good point.
In the NBA, Victor Wembanyama received all 99 first place votes from a media panel, making him the first unanimous NBA Rookie of the Year since Karl Anthony Towns in the 2015-16 season. And last night scores the Knicks Bosa's Skims ad. There's no way that thing is real. He clearly stuffs it in those pants. And Indiana, 121-117. And the Timberwolves of Wall Street and the Nuggets.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. That's Travis Gale, our fearless reporter of halftime scores.
Felt good. It felt good.
It felt really good
It's
today.
Tuesday.
That is a Tuesday effort, which reminds me, our Four Corners news correspondent Jon Fink enters the room to bring you the top stories from the four corners of the map. Jon Fink, take it away.
All right. Scouring the globe to find the stories you didn't know you needed to know. From the Four Corners News Desk, I'm Jon Fink. We're going to start off sad news about an emotional support alligator that was taken by pranksters and then dumped in a swamp. Of course. Known as Wally Gator.
Wow.
He was a surprisingly cuddly creature. He's been helping his owner relieve his depression for almost 10 years. Unfortunately, while his owner was on vacation in the state of Georgia, some pranksters took his alligator and threw it in somebody's backyard as a prank. They rounded this poor alligator up and just dumped him in a swamp.
That's very sad. An emotional support alligator.
Yes.
Are those allowed in Georgia?
You know what? I actually saw a woman with an emotional support snake go into one of my father-in-law's restaurant.
What?
And he could not remove her because
did it have a vest? One of those red vests?
No, because
like a red sock.
Yeah.
And I said, is there anything at all we could do about this? And he was like, the only thing you can really do is offer like a gift card for her to come back a different time, like when it's less busy. But outside of that, people are just going to do what they do nowadays, and you can't say anything about it.
I feel weird about animals like that, though, because when you make contact with them, you can spread salmonella.
Oh, like reptiles. Yeah.
Most reptiles carry salmonella on their skin. So, if you're going to handle that and then go eat a bunch of food or touch somebody's chair and then they're going to pick it up, you're going to be a salmonella fella.
That's right. We learned so much from Jon Fink.
You know what? I'm here for learning.
I've touched a lot of reptiles. I guess I've washed my hands.
Yeah, it's always good to wash your hands after you touch a snake.
Yeah, you know what?
And also reptiles.
Since my grandma. Yeah, I was going to say.
Also reptiles. This specific Wally Gator is also mildly famous. He was the model for the alligator Loki on the Loki show.
Interesting.
He's one of the Loki variants. He was the model for that.
I like that.
In slightly related news, Tallahassee, Florida, hunters now are on a alligator super hunt. Hunters have 2 opportunities to bag an alligator this year in Florida. You have increased chances.
Do you mean actually bag it?
Yeah.
Or
to kill it. And yeah, exactly. It's a new hunting license in Florida where you can go in through alligator season between August 15th and November 8th and get yourself an alligator.
Dude, I support this 100%.
Hold on.
Alligators are, in my mind, they are useless killing machines.
Well,
they are.
Hold on.
Many of those dinosaurs that you could decapitate, go for it.
I'm looking at Wally Gator right now. The emotional support.
Right?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I could use one of those.
Hang on.
Be fine with that.
No,
we could get a Sports 760 emotional support gator.
I'm in.
there are special exceptions that can be made in any argument. I am willing to admit that is the most charming alligator I've ever seen in my life.
He's
Look at it right here.
delightful.
He's just on the lap getting a little pet.
Little nuzzles there.
Can I ask this question? The last picture you showed me, was he wearing overalls? Yeah. Because that is adorable.
I know, it
I missed that one.
was just like a collar, like a dog collar.
Gosh, I mean, that is an attractive gator.
Well,
but
come
you
home,
know what?
Wally.
Overalls. I'm in.
Not a bad look
Yeah.
for an alligator.
No.
I don't know. Does it go like over this like front shoulders? I don't really know how that would.
Yeah, you would
fit
think.
on
I have gator skin shoes.
Of course you do.
and it's for good reason, because I support killing alligators.
Wow.
And you know what?
Wow.
Honestly, I think that's a controversial stance, but I'm willing to take it here. I do not
all
care
right.
about
Not
those
to be ignorant here, but I wasn't listening to anything because I was cutting TD's halftime because he accidentally said a bad word. And
Oh,
I did.
I came in and Rich just said, I absolutely support killing
Do you
alligators.
know how many children are eaten by gators, which is what do they call an invasive predator in the swamps of the Everglades? Children.
How many children?
human
Give me a
beings.
stat.
I mean, tremendous. I'll look it up right now. It's and dogs, small. Your little Bracky running around the backyard in Florida.
Brock
Oh,
could
yeah.
handle
I
it.
would gator
No.
food.
yeah. I would
Yeah.
be watching out for my doggies, Chewy and Hannah Solo. Thank you so much. That's my wife's idea.
Yes. Oh God, it's great.
Well done, Karen.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, so no word if the owner, Mr. Henney, will indeed see this pet a little later.
Check this out. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has recorded 269 reported incidents of alligators biting dogs between 2006 and 2020, resulting in 157 canine fatalities.
Wow.
This
Yikes.
means roughly 10 dogs a year are killed every year by alligators in Florida.
Wow. Not Wally though. Look, he's wearing sunglasses.
Yeah,
Well,
right?
I'll tell you what, like I said, there are adorable exceptions to every rule.
But and if you were to
look
put
at those sunglasses.
if you were gonna put overalls on Wally, I feel like it would have to be like just the back legs.
We have to move on.
Sorry.
Okay, yes,
John,
let's
move
move
on.
on.
Sorry.
What's your next story?
Next up, we're going to stay in Florida, though, because cruise ship passengers can now bear it all on the big nude boat.
Yes.
We're going to have a nude cruise, friends, a 10-day voyage to the Caribbean in 2025. Bare Necessities Tour and Travel is taking over the Norwegian Pearl.
Wow.
Jesus.
February 3rd to
Little bit
February
on the
14th.
nose.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Oh, no, it's not usually on the nose. It's usually
What?
okay, never mind. Anyway, nude passengers
Are they
will be-
listening to the Beatles? Norwegian Wood.
Oh boy.
Oh, my. Travis.
It's a Beatles
Do
song.
I get to tell him to
It's
take
a,
a laugh?
it's
Is
a
that
Beatles
okay?
song. It's a
You're
Beatles
so
song.
close. You are so
Wow. That's
She's okay. Go ahead. Go
anyway.
ahead.
Nude passengers will visit the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, St. Martin, Dominica, Martinique, and St. Lucia. There are, of course, rules about where you can sit and who can take photos of whom.
Yeah, well,
So you should follow those. And also maybe don't, go nude and sit in the buffet line.
I just wonder what that cruise smells like.
Oh,
Booty cheeks.
Yeah, booty.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I mean,
a little
Yeah,
bit
booty
of the.
cleavage.
you're worried about salmonella at the buffet?
No. You better worry about that fresh from under cheese.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. So also in fashion news, the Jordan Luca brand has put out a pair of jeans. Now, don't look at the price. I want you to guess.
Ooh.
They feature a dark spot in an area that make it look suspiciously like you had an accident.
Wait, they're supposed to look like
You
peed your
yourself.
pants?
Yes.
Pea pants.
pee
Yes,
pants.
pee pants.
I actually saw this.
2024.
I have to bow out. I know
Oh,
how
okay.
much
You know
it
how much these
costs.
cost?
Yeah, oh yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Oh, it's some,
$245.
it's some
How
dumb
much?
amount.
$245.
$245. How many?
I'm gonna say it's $1,200.
Let's split the difference because they are on sale. They originally retail for $800. They're on sale for $600. Weirdly
Why
enough,
would we want
the pea stain is very specific, so it makes it look like you had this accident while you're lying on your back, like hugging your knees to your chest. There's no like drippage down the leg. or anything.
Interesting. Is
How do I know
is each pea stain different?
It is. Yes, it's an artisan pea stain.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah. By the way, this is all from an editorial.
Of course.
Yes,
we
absolutely.
read.
Read that in an
Yes,
article.
Exactly.
Yes, I read that in. Yes, and the pictures are.
Yeah, pea
troubling.
pants.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
And if you've ever seen Aqua Teen Hunger Force, shout out to MCP Pants
But-
as
Of
well.
course, of course. So I am
Yes.
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in P Pants.
Mm.
And finally, This is very strange. A San Diego company has had to defrock their artificial intelligence priest. Catholic Answers has removed Father Justin from availability after he recommended that people can get baptized in Gatorade.
Good Lord.
And questions?
No,
Yes.
no, no. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Yeah.
And also, you can apparently marry your sibling.
Amen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you can't get baptized in anything.
It makes sense to me. I mean, we've all seen Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Sports drink has the nutrients that people need.
Again, can we meet in the middle? Like, if not Gatorade, it does have to be water. Could be like Propel.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Ooh, or like a sparkling water.
Oh,
that'd
very
be
good. Best
Oh,
green.
yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
fun for a little baby.
Yeah.
Why is my skin tingling?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
tonic water. Hey,
Yeah.
Jon Fink, you crushed it again.
Yes.
Pleasure
Bringing
to
us
be here.
The stories that we didn't know we needed to know, as he does every Tuesday on Four Corners.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thanks
Nicely
for having
done.
me, fellas.
Nicely done.
Man, Jon
Thank
Fink.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really quick, before you run, could you just comment on Fletch's? I know this may be uncomfortable, but his body type and just the way he looks now compared to, say, 6 months ago.
Ben Fletcher is a very attractive man.
I mean, thank you for this. It's not even my weight loss read. This is Prize Picks,
Yeah,
Richie.
yeah.
Oh,
would you
that's
say?
fine.
Would you
I mean-
say it's more or less than
I will
6
bet.
months
Yes,
ago?
I will bet more attractive. More attractive.
And you know what? If you had Prize Picks, you could be a winner, Jon Fink. So
Oh my
download
God!
the
Let me
app.
get my phone out.
Download it now. Use promo code DOGS. You're going to get a first
Okay, I'm
deposit match
typing, I'm
up
typing.
to $100. So put in $100. You get matched $100 from Prize Picks. That's $200 you have to play with. This basketball postseason, this baseball regular season. I'll tell you what, Rich, my favorite part is you can combine the basketball and the baseball at the same time. You have a lineup with, say, Anthony Edwards, who's been killing it, and Fernando Tatis Jr. going at the same time.
Okay, how about this? Luis Arraez just arrived in San Diego. Maybe you pair him with Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know. Get crazy with it. You got plenty of options here with Prize Picks. Go more and less on your favorite athletes, their statistical categories. You can build entries up to 6 players deep and win 100 times your money. They have injury insurance. That means that if a guy gets injured, maybe he misses the second half of a game, one of these basketball playoff games, you're not going to lose out on the whole entry just because one guy's off the court with a poked eye. No, you have an entry alive with 5 players. It's great. Life is good.
And today is Taco Tuesday, so there will be discounts on the board coming up in a few hours here that you could take advantage of on Prize Picks. Get on over to the app today, download it, use promo code DOGS, DOGS, get a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Pick so many.
This update is presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We will start off with the Padres, who win 6-3 yesterday over the Cubs. It was a big 6-run 6th inning for the Pods. Bullpen holds the lead. 2 more against the Cubbies today, or over the next 2 days in Chicago. Randy Vasquez is going to be on the mound today. NBA, Timberwolves making it look easy against the Nuggets. They win 106-80 last night. T-Wolves take a 2-0 series lead as the series heads back to Minnesota. And Knicks beat the Pacers 121-117. Drama ensues in the final minute of that game, 57 seconds. The game was tied at 1:15 apiece. There was a kicked ball called on the Pacers. It was not kicked. It was tipped, benefiting the Knicks. They take a 1-0 series lead. Staying in the NBA, Spurs' first overall draft pick, Victor Wembanyama, is the unanimous Rookie of the Year. This update presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Woo! Keep up with San Diego Sports 760 anytime, anywhere. Whether you're stepping out of the car or settling in at home, just ask your Google or Alexa smart speaker to play AM 760 or stream it live through the iHeartRadio app. It's never been easier to stay connected with your favorite shows like this one. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760 goes where you go
all the time.
Hey, TD, what time does the Padres game start tonight?
4:40 first piece pitch.
Okay.
Wait, did it sound like I said something other than the word pitch?
So during your halftime report, you mentioned that it was a 4:40 first pitch
Yeah.
from Wrigley Field. Although it can't. Can we even air? Can we play this?
Yeah, it's ambiguous.
Okay, let's hear.
Sounds like halfway in between.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
Their
it.
Padres play the Cubs again today. 4:40 first pitch. It's definitely pitch.
I don't know.
That's a pitch. There is no B in that.
I don't
Wow, you guys.
Can we
You guys.
go one more time.
Their Padres play the Cubs again today. 4:40 first pitch.
It's pretty close.
Listen, this is not their first itch. Okay. Pitch.
Speaking of which,
Pitch. It's like I was talking about soccer fields.
so Giselle Bundchen wasn't pleased with what was going on. What was going on? at the
Stormy
road?
Daniels on the stand right now.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
We don't have any TV.
Yeah, how come
Every-
everything says direct TV?
Every single screen in here has a screensaver on it. That's because Mike Usher isn't here yet.
Mike Usher's gone for the week. We'll never have TVs again. Oh, we're back.
That's good. I have like 6 things I owe Mike, and I haven't done any of them.
Yeah, it's good. We owe him Peeps.
Oh, we do.
Very upset he wanted those
Right.
Peeps back.
Sounds
Pitch.
like you're able to pronounce the P
Pitch.
in peeps.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, you heard Peeps just fine?
Yeah, oh, I heard that.
It's weird. Yeah, you don't say beeps.
No, I say Peeps, just like I say the word pitch. Pitch.
Right. Yeah, dude, we have proof. You say it perfectly. That sounds like how everybody says pitch. Just like everyone else.
Pitch. You guys are also a couple of pitches away from going to a UFC fight.
Do you think that any of the jokes were all that disrespectful to Giselle Bundchen?
Were they disrespectful? Yeah, probably, just because you're bringing it up. However, do I think they were factual? Yes. Yeah. I mean, did she really go to a jujitsu class 8 times a day? I doubt it. However, the joke is funny. Yeah. I mean,
The Nikki Glazer one was the funniest. Tom Brady's wife is with the jiu-jitsu trainer, obviously, and he could beat his ass while
Yeah. Which is also true.
Well, it is.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I've never seen Tom Brady fight.
I think he was their jiu-jitsu trainer, not just hers.
Oh yeah, no, this was a family affair. Like, and literally speaking,
One guy wasn't invited.
yeah, you're exact. Well, and the crazy thing about it is, okay, so yes, I get it. This is unfortunate how certain relationships end, and it really is a private matter what exactly happened. But here's the problem, Giselle. You are a famous celebrity supermodel. You have made every single dollar you've earned in your life based off your fame. So unfortunately, you got to take the good with the bad. Now, I've never lived this life. I don't understand the tragedy of having your world turned upside down and then all of your information put on Main Street.
Mhm.
And then even when things aren't represented appropriately, like maybe there was a lot more to this story than we know.
Could have been an open marriage at that point.
Who knows? Maybe there was, we don't know. Maybe there was an infidelity committed on the other side of the relationship.
Brady was slinging more than just footballs.
We don't know.
Joaquin Valente, the jiu-jitsu instructor, I would say not nearly as good looking as Tom Brady.
Look, I mean, but the way I
a
feel,
little J-Riffy.
Actually, a little bit. He looks like a Brazilian J-Riff.
Yeah, like an angry Brazilian J-Riff.
You guys see on Friday, J-Riff posted a picture to the 760 account. He's wearing one of those sweatshirts that doesn't have sleeves.
He does that often. He wears that very sweatshirt very often.
He also brought up to program director Mary that the next time he fills in that we have requested he does it shirtless. And he said, that's not okay, right? Because of sexual harassment policies. And she said, no, if it's on the show, it doesn't matter. So
that's what I want in a boss.
Which, by the way, can you imagine having that conversation with a boss? That's the reason why we don't ask our bosses any questions. We just do this. Like, hey, so if we do a full cooking segment in studio and we cause a small fire, is that okay? The answer is going to be no. So you just do it.
Right. You just pop the top.
Yeah, just take the shirt off. You don't have to ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness.
What if we just had J-Riff sit in here one day shirtless the entire show?
Can we try to paint him?
I feel like that would be some sort of sexual harassment policy problem.
Also, did you guys see the backlash against Ben Affleck?
Okay.
So, I didn't get it. Really.
Okay, well, so here's the reason why he got backlash. It's twofold. One, it almost appears as if Ben Affleck has never actually seen a roast before, because he got on stage and he was like defending Tom from the Keyboard Warriors who were saying nasty things about him his whole career. He was like, Tom Brady is a gem of a human being, and you idiots in your basements with your laptops, like, how dare you? Okay, so there was that aspect. The other aspect of it is Ben Affleck showed up, and let's just say his face is wrinkle free.
That's what I was like not understanding, is people were just making fun of his face more than anything, and he just looks like Ben Affleck.
He didn't look like Ben Affleck to me. It does not look like Ben Affleck. It
looks like Ben Affleck aged 5 years from his last movie, which is probably the case.
It looks like about 3 years ago when the face swap app was a big thing.
Oh, no.
And it was like, oh, AI is getting pretty close to making people look like other people.
He just doesn't have a beard.
Look at it side by side.
I know, he's just clean shaven now.
Yeah. Oh no. That may be.
Send him that link.
Yeah,
Maybe you're looking at the different. There's no secret. I mean, in fact, Tom Brady was one of the people on the stage getting poked fun of because he's had plastic surgery done. It's clear he's had plastic surgery done. Just look at the pictures when Tom Brady came into the league. His hairline is in a different place, and it's not like it's receding. He's only has more hair since he was drafted by the Patriots.
Right there, the pictures in the grid now. I mean, that doesn't even look like the same person. Yeah. That looks like Ben Affleck's stunt double rolled in to do this interview.
I mean, Tom Brady looks like a completely different looking human being. Now, by the way, he looks good. So does Ben Affleck.
Right.
But he does look like a different person.
Right. Right.
Well, the one image on this one is fuzzy, but go to the grid and pull up, go to the grid and see what the side by side that TD just put there, Fletch. And then you'll see what we're talking about.
Right.
Like, he's got forehead wrinkles like normal people have.
Right.
And then in the picture of him,
smooth.
I mean, smooth as a baby's butt.
And you'll notice the picture on the right, eyebrows move. Picture on the left, no movement.
So he got a little Botox.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, which is, again, it's his own prerogative. It's his choice. He can do whatever he wants. And I still think he's a handsome guy. But there's no question that he got things pulled a little taut.
Yeah. You see J-Lo at the Met Gala, by the way?
I did not. And I am curious what she was up to.
She was in a very lovely gown. Oh, I think it's a very small photo.
You know, I'm a big fan of J-Lo.
Yeah. I mean, I can't find the back of it. The back of it nearly see-through.
You know, I'm
Let's
going to
just
say
say.
this. I'm going to need a little time. Why don't you guys-
There's the back of her gown.
I got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it pulled up, and I'm going to need you guys to take over for a few.
What?
There we go.
Listen, we always try to sneak some Jennifer Lopez on the show
Of course.
because there's always room for J-Lo.
I think Zendaya is really beautiful.
Wait
What
a
the hell was she wearing?
You just missed
but-
it. You just missed it. Did you hear that? There's
What?
always room for J-Lo. You missed it because you're too young.
Yeah.
Jello.
That was their slogan.
There's
There's
always
always
room
room
for
for Jello.
Yeah.
Wow, Zendaya looked like an idiot, if we're being honest.
That's
And I'm
rude.
being honest.
That's so rude.
I'll let you. Who was the new person that you hate? You texted us about yesterday.
Oh, Miley Cyrus. Not new. It just she popped into my head. I saw a photo and I was like, God,
Well, how do you hate Miley Cyrus? What has she done that
terrible.
is hateable?
Terrible.
She's got
that
great
one makes
voice.
Yeah.
it makes
No,
more
she's got
sense.
terrible voice.
No,
She has a
she's got
great
great
voice.
Terrible
She's
voice.
a great singer.
It's got that raspiness to it.
It's awful.
I mean, I
Mm-mm.
can understand if you just don't like the person.
Beyonce, I don't understand
No.
the hatred against Beyonce, or Miley Cyrus. They both have
Beyonce-
beautiful voices.
Beyonce has a voice. Beyonce is just dumb. Like her songs are dumb. The writing's dumb. The musicality's
She
dumb.
doesn't write her songs.
Yeah, well, she says she does, and her name is on a lot of them, and they're dumb. Miley Cyrus actually just sucks. Like Miley Cyrus should have stayed in Hannah Montana.
You're such a nice guy,
What?
like in life.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, listen,
I would actually tell
no,
Miley Cyrus to her face she
this is-
sucks. Beyonce to her face, I don't know if I'd say it.
yeah, here's that. Like, you are a nice guy. You have terrible taste in music.
I have the best taste in music.
I
You
don't
just
think that's
really
true at all.
love like wrinkly old guys.
No, that's not true at all.
No, that is absolutely true.
That's not true at all.
All right, what do you think of Angus Young?
Well, love Angus Young.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think
Rest
about,
in peace, Malcolm.
what do you think about John Mellencamp?
John Mellencamp. I would have said I like John Mellencamp until he started,
Paul McCartney?
pitching out at the shows.
Paul McCartney?
Paul McCartney, I liked with the Beatles, and I liked Wings. Yeah, but Paul McCartney now, I'm like, shut up.
Okay. All
You
right.
see what he's been doing recently?
What's that?
Nah.
Paul McCartney. I guess he's doing something in New York over the next few weeks, and there was he took old video of old fan from the early days of the Beatles who were in New York saying, "Paul, I'm your biggest fan. I love you so much. I'm in New York, blah, blah, blah." And then he's stitching himself to that video saying, "Hey, I'm in New York now." However he talks.
Oh, sweet.
Thank you for telling that story,
Yeah,
Fletch.
you're
That
welcome.
was very informative. Moving right along.
I thought it was gonna be something inflammatory.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. We have Iron
Yeah.
Maiden tickets for you. And by the way, Fletch, you're looking good.
Yeah.
You're looking real
Thank
good.
you.
Would you say more or less?
Definitely less. We were actually just cutting some new spots for sdfatloss.com, and they asked me to think about who I was before sdfatloss.com.
Wait, they did?
Well, kind of. They
Did
talked
they
about
ask all of us that?
last
Because I
summer
did not
versus
do that.
this summer.
Okay, got it.
Last summer, I weighed 278 pounds. And for some reason, I wasn't ashamed of it for a long time.
Shirt still came off.
But then I saw the picture of myself in Mexico, and I'm like, dude, you are a whale. Like, I was so fat.
Big boy.
And then I think about my life going into this summer, and I'm pretty stoked about it, to be honest. Like, I got some weddings coming up. One of them is going to be by a beautiful pool, and I have no problem going to that wedding completely shirtless, and it's thanks to our friends over at sdfatloss.com. Get on over there today. If you want to make a big change in your life coming up over the next couple of months, it's ridiculous how quickly it drops off. And sometimes I forgot how quickly this all happened for us, but I went back on the reduction phase last week. I went on it on Wednesday. That's when I officially started. Today, I'm down 7 pounds from where I was last Wednesday. Like, you think about how that can translate to your life here over the next couple of months, and think about how quickly you can drop 30, 40, 50 pounds. It's a no-brainer. Get on over to sdfatloss.com today. You mentioned the show, Big Rich, TD, Fletch. You're going to get $200 off the program. Was that me last summer? Weighed 278 pounds?
Yep.
Also, get that away from the camera, because that will get us kicked off
What?
YouTube.
What are you talking
What,
Say it
is
with
that on the camera? Let me see if you can see it on the camera.
sdfatloss.com
No, you
is where
can't
you got to
see
go. And you too could look like Emily Ratajkowski.
Dude, I think
sdfatloss.com.
the J is silent.
Listen, we want to hear from you on the Talkback feature. While you're listening on the free iHeartRadio app, I am here to promote the Talkback feature. You'll see a microphone there at the lower right-hand side. Tap that, send us a message, a shout-out, anything you want to share. Like maybe you want to say, hey, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, when are you giving away those Iron Maiden tickets? And we're going to say, next.
San Diego Sports 760. Just do it. By the way, this is Big Rich for Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery, the Man Zone. Dr. Roy David, double board certified plastic surgeon, is the medical director over at the Man Zone. And if you, like me, have had some symptoms lately that you can't really explain because your diet's locked in or you've been getting plenty of sleep, but you just feel like you're in a funk, right? You wake up every day and you're tired. You drink coffee. It doesn't matter how much coffee you drink. You're still tired. You go to the gym. You feel unmotivated. You know, you have that feeling that you're carrying around a weight all day long and you just can't shake it. Well, it could be tied to your testosterone. Also, there are plenty of reports of guys having struggles in the bedroom and things like that. That can be tied to testosterone as well. So get your test levels checked. If you learn nothing else from me talking about the Man Zone, is it's how important it is for every single year, for every guy, late 30s on, to get your testosterone checked annually. It happens to be easy here in San Diego because you have a trusted professional, Dr. Roy David at the Man Zone. Him and his team, they can get you tested and get you out the door immediately. I just went in for an updated test on my testosterone. Things are still kicking in the right direction, and I'm so thankful because all of those symptoms I was facing with that lethargy, waking up, just not having enough energy to face the day, all of that faded away once I started getting testosterone replacement therapy at 37. So you may be thinking, oh, I'm too young for this. You're not. You're not. If you're in your late 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, again, you should be tested every single year to make sure your testosterone levels are in appropriate range. And if they're not, they can maximize and optimize your levels. And that's what happened for me. I was in the low average range. I'm like, I don't want to be low average at anything, especially my testosterone levels. So let's get those boosted up. That's exactly what happened. And I felt great ever since. So if you're like me, if you're struggling to get through days, right? You wake up and you just can't seem to get enough energy and enough momentum throughout the day, and you want to feel better. Or if you are struggling with things in the bedroom, right? No shame. You got to go in and see Dr. Roy David over at the Man Zone. Check them out at themanzone.com. And if you go right now and you mention Big Rich from Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, you can save $50 off your first testosterone treatment. That's themanzone.com. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, Iron Maiden tickets coming up in just 3 minutes. We'll tell you how to win those. Busy show today. Padres pre-streaking right now out in Chicago. Any thoughts on how this Dodgers series is going to go when they come to town?
They've won one. Is it a pre-streak at one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Still a pre-streak.
It's a pre-streak. Tomorrow.
It's a pre-streak at 0.
By tomorrow, we could be pre-streaking with 2 wins.
That's right.
And shoot, by game 1 of this Dodgers, or really by the final out of the Cubs series, they could be on a win streak, fellas.
Woo!
That's a big deal.
I don't know what question you asked. Something about the Dodgers.
Yeah. How do we feel? Okay, so Dodgers coming to town. Last time they faced them, they won. Do we feel differently about this matchup? Because the Dodgers, they've been rolling lately. The Padres, it's been hot and cold, obviously. little more cold than hot.
So you should feel better about the Dodgers coming to your place, right? I don't.
You don't.
The Padres have been bad at Petco Park. What have they've won 2 night games at Petco Park so far this year.
Interesting.
Okay.
And
So
I mentioned earlier in the show they're 4th in Major League Baseball with 5.8 runs per game or whatever it was. At home, it's like 4.4.
so we set expectations low. 1 win. Get one.
I take it.
I mean, I feel like I would too. Well,
As of May 4th, the San Diego Padres had a home record of 8-12 and an away record of 12-8. So almost the exact opposite. That's
yeah, but that's taking into account day games though, not the night games.
yeah. Well, it's all
Night games, they've won 2 home night games this year.
Well, right. Yeah, that's not great.
Well, it's not really good.
Mm-mm,
I feel
mm-mm.
like we should change that.
Well, you got a weekend series against the Dodgers, so you'll have day games.
No,
about that?
2 night games, 1 day games.
Son of a beast.
Yeah,
Son of a pitch.
that's right.
Pitch.
The pitch.
Pitch.
I feel like I enunciated the P.
Let's hear it
very
again.
well.
Hang on.
Nope. Their Padres play the Cubs again today. 4:40 first pitch. That's pitch.
It doesn't
Definitely say pitch.
Yeah, I mean, it's up for debate, I would say. At very
Pitch.
least.
Iron Maiden going to be at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on October 4th. You son of a bitch. Pitch. It's definitely a P in that. Bitch. You want to win tickets? You got to call in exactly 8:57. Not now. 8:57. 877-767-4760. 877 SORG760 if you want to win them.
Love
Thank you
that.
to Jon Fink. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, TD. You son of a pitch.
That's correct.
I love you.
Love you more, buddy.
Who else do we thank?
That's it.
The roadies,
The dogs,
the
the
hangers,
hangers,
the
the
bangers.
bangers.
Woo! We'll see you tomorrow. Colin Coward's next.